August 2022, just one day before the end of the month. Welcome to yet another exciting show here on KUTV Rise Today. Good morning to you. How are you feeling this morning? What are you doing? What are you up to? What do you expect from the rest of the day? We'd love to know that, and also where you're tuning in from, because that's really important as we give you your shout outs all the way towards the end of the show. Interact with us on all the social platforms and use the hashtag Rise Today, hashtag Biashara Tuesday. We'll be able to see your feedback, and also if you have any comments or anything that you'd like to maybe contribute towards the show, make sure you do that on the social platforms, as I said, and also on the SMS/WhatsApp numbers that you can see somewhere there on your screen. Now, the Supreme Court will, for the next 5 days, be a center stage for legal and political drama as Kenya goes to another period where we are waiting for the Supreme Court to make a decision on the petitions which have been filed at the apex court of the country in determination of the presidential results, which were recently announced by chairman of the IEBC, Wafula Chebukati. DP Ruto, who is the current deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, is, as of the moment, the president-elect of the country. However, there's much more going on, because now we have to, as I said, wait and see what the Supreme Court decides on the number of petitions which have been presented to it there as of 2 weeks ago up to now today at 11 a.m., where the Supreme Court will be now starting to take a look at what kind of files have been submitted to it, what kind of arguments are presented by the various factions which are moving to court. Looking here at some of the developments which have happened since last week, a lot of concerns coming from both sides, especially on the main two political sides which are taking stage at the Supreme Court, which is the Kenya Kwanza side led by DP Ruto, and also Azimion Lawmoja by Raila Amolo Odinga. And the Law Society of Kenya has filed a petition or an application to the Supreme Court now to participate in the 8 petitions which are challenging President-elect William Ruto's win, and they are going there as friends of the court. However, President-elect William Ruto has also filed his own application to bar the Law Society of Kenya from participating in these proceedings, as well also requiring that only the IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati and the commission should be present during the proceedings of the Supreme Court, arguing that only those are the ones who are relevant towards this case. Azimion Lawmoja, on the other side, is happy after the High Court of Nairobi granted them the prayer to use a DCI report. If you remember, some time back, there were 3 Venezuelan nationals who were arrested at JKIA before the elections, and now Azimion Lawmoja wants to use the report by the DCI on those 3 nationals towards their petition at the Supreme Court. This detailed report, Martha Karua argues, is also having crucial information that will help the Supreme Court of Kenya in making its decision towards this petition of the presidential election. As I said, President-elect William Ruto, they are trying to lock out LSK and also the rest of the 6 of the IEBC commissioners from participating in the petitions. However, according to the court, only 4 lawyers from each side or from each party will be allowed to access the courtroom, and this is from the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Ann Amadi. She said all is set for Raila and Karua's petition, which is challenging the William Ruto election win. And these proceedings are going to begin today at 11 a.m. So make sure you are tuned into your television stations, also at KUTV Kenya. You will be getting this at the rest of the broadcasting in exactly what happens as the proceedings begin this morning at 11. Azimion also wants Mwaure, who was formerly a presidential candidate for this just concluded election period, and they say that he is Ruto's surrogate and should not be allowed to take part in the petition. He has asked, that is Mwaure, he has asked the Supreme Court to nullify or not to nullify the poll results based on what he calls minor arithmetic errors. Are they minor arithmetic errors? We'll be having a look at that with the Azimion Lawmoja youth organizer, Derek Oginga. He'll be joining me on set to have a chat later on in the newspaper review section. We are having a look at what is happening in the dailies, especially focusing on that petition which will be happening at the Supreme Court. The proceedings, what can we expect? Is there a valid case from the Azimion Lawmoja side? And did Wafula Chebukati deliver a free, fair, and verifiable election? Having been given such a huge budget, 40 billion plus, to deliver a free, fair, and credible election, the man had only one job. That is the man Wafula Chebukati. Now, staring at the happenings of what has gone down since these elections began, we have a split IEBC commission, and whether or not the Supreme Court nullifies or upholds the elections, all eyes are still set on Wafula Chebukati, who has conducted 2 divisive elections in the country, which are still really, really expensive. We're still going to have a look at his case, whether or not his position as chairman has been satisfactory for the past 2 elections. IEBC split commissioners, also an issue if the elections are nullified, and we have to wait for a couple of months before we get the next or the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. Kenya is staring at that kind of stalemate, so we are going to be going in depth into what this means for the next, or the transition that is expected from this government to the next one. As that happens, governors are being sworn in all over the country, and also giving promises on what exactly they're going to do for their various counties. Respectively, if we begin with Nairobi County, which is the capital city of the Republic, Johnson Sakaja ascending to that governor's seat, overtaking roles at the City Hall, and also bringing in some new changes. Yesterday, ordering that all the borders which have been impounded at various police stations be released, and any case withdrawn if it involves border riders. That and much more of promises, including his main agenda, which is agenda number 1, that is fixing the water situation in Nairobi County in every single hood, and that is what he's going to be looking at. That, and also over in Nakuru County, Susan Kihika also promising residents of Nakuru County to fix the water situation over there. So it looks like a lot of promises going around as the swearing in is happening. However, if you look over at the 13th Parliament, you see that MCAs and MPs, in a new shocking revelation, are going to be getting 10 billion Kenyan shillings in terms of new housing allowances. And this is even after the Salaries and Remunerations Commission scrapped the seating allowances, the plenary seating allowances, which were being given to the MCAs and MPs. MPs were receiving 5,000 Kenyan shillings for every single sitting, MCAs 3,000 Kenyan shillings for every single sitting. And this didn't make sense because they're being basically paid to do exactly what they have been voted and what they received salaries to do. The SRC did scrap this plenary sitting allowance. However, there are new housing allowances, which will be totaling up to 10 billion, way much more than what the SRC saved by scrapping the plenary seating allowances. Does this make sense, even as we head towards another government, from runaway corruption, a very high cost of living, and also Kenyans are hurting even during this period as we are trying to figure out what exactly is happening in terms of the presidential position. So that is happening over at the dailies. We'll be having a look at that and much more in what is being promised by the various members of parliament, and what the electorate, of course, can expect into the coming few days. As I said there, the next government is going to bear the brunt of all the occurrences of the previous government, and also what is currently happening in terms of the petition over at Parliament, at the Supreme Court, And the Treasury has asked here that cabinet secretaries and all the parastatal CEOs prepare budgets for the next financial year, which began in July, which will be all the way to July 2023. And they're going to use the policies and the frameworks which were there under the outgoing president, Uhuru Kenyatta. And this is going to be pending any changes that come from the decision of the Supreme Court on presidential petitions. So it means that the next government, or the president, whoever will become the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya, will have to work with whatever the budget is that is going to be set by the current cabinet secretaries, even as we await the decision of the 7th bench, which is set up there at the Supreme Court. So that is happening in your world of politics, and also intertwining in matters of business. If you want to invest, there's a lot is happening. Safaricom is live in Ethiopia, already kickstarting business there. And it's also a good time for you to invest in the dip that is being experienced in Kenya as foreign investors also flee the market due to that uncertainty in the political environment. They are dropping their shares, the stocks are dipping, so it is a good time for you to take a look at what are some of the companies that you can place your bets on to reap huge into the future once the country, of course, gets back into normal business. This and much more is what we're discussing here on Biashara Tuesday all the way to 10 in the morning. Interact with us, as I said. We'll be streaming live on Facebook at KUTV Kenya. Leave us your comment there. Tell us what you think about what we say. If you have anything that you'd like us to have a consideration on, we'd really love to see that. Also, tag me on my personal handles at Richard_Okenye. Let's have a conversation on business and let's kick it off. Traffic updates, courtesy of Ma3 Route, coming to you every morning here on KUTV Rise Today. Stay safe out there. A lot is happening on Thika Road. Kenyatta University freshmen are just reporting, as I saw earlier on, from 6 a.m. So if you're using that road, do know that is an activity that is happening today and probably also tomorrow and a few, or probably towards the rest of the week. So plan your day properly if you're using Thika Road, and also if you're a freshman coming to Kenyatta University, congratulations, and also do ensure you're getting there on time. Here, we're getting information on what is happening on your roads and also the traffic alternative routes that you can use. So make sure you're giving me that interaction and I'll be reading it towards the end, all the way towards the end of the show. Gari ni 30 hapa hivi, nimepeana 50 bob, nikishuka ananiambia hana change. Hizo gari zinaenda Mombasa Road. Hizo ni gari zenye zinaenda Mombasa Road. Haikosi kuwa ni Rembo Shato ama Classic. Huwa hawarudishi change. Concern there from Mulwa Steve. Anasema 20 bob imeungua pale Mombasa Road. Mombasa Road as well from Athi River towards Masaku. Iko sawa sana. That is still from Mulwa Steve. Complaining about his change situation there and also giving us the update on what is happening. The mess on Westlands roundabout Wayaki outbound. If you're using that route, ensure you have alternative options for you if you're going to work this morning. Thika Road, I'm also receiving once more, traffic is building up from and towards town. So if you have any other route that you can use, that situation at Kenyatta University is preventing the smooth flow of traffic. Langata Road, naona kumeshikana pia. Mbagathi Way, it is smooth. Not much updates coming from any other road this morning. If you're outside Nairobi, please do tell us what is happening over there. What I'm receiving mostly here, still, as I saw last week, is concerns on what exactly the roads are supposed to be looking like, or what people hope the roads should look like into the future in Nairobi City, asking for cyclist paths and also pedestrian walkways, equality of transportation and safety that benefits pedestrians and cyclists is what people are asking Sakaja Johnson through his handle there on Twitter, the governor of Nairobi County, to have a look at as he takes assumption of office. This bus also almost caused an accident at St. Mary's, Nakuru. I'm retweeting that on the timeline. If you have any other updates, please do tell us. We'll be making sure that people are getting to their places of work safe and also doing their business as they are supposed to do. Much more of updates, please do tell us. We're giving you that all the way towards the end of Biashara Tuesday. Right about now, what has happened in your world for the past 24 hours, the bulletins from yesterday night that are informing today's newspapers, and then we can get back to the newspaper review and then kickstart Biashara Tuesday. So don't go too far, we just started. So here I am having a look at the hard-hitting headlines that are spread there at the Daily Nation, the Business Daily, and the Standard. The Daily Nation says the buck stops here, and the face that is there is by one IEBC chairperson or chairman, Wafula Chebukati, flanked there on the sides by William Ruto and Raila Odinga. Of course, this is in light of the question that people are asking, will IEBC pass the independence test? The Independent and Electoral Boundaries Commission, is it really independent in the face of the split that has been witnessed following the announcement of the presidential results just barely 2 weeks ago? Chaos and low voter turnout has been experienced over in Kakamega and Mombasa elections. That is a mini headline that is there on the Daily Nation. The race to succeed Hassan Joho in Mombasa and also Wycliffe Oparanya in Kakamega ended up being a flexing situation or a flexing of muscle between Ruto and Raila's camp. DP Ruto sending over 70 members of the Kenya Kwanza team over in Mombasa to make sure that the elections are being conducted in a way that they are feeling is satisfactory, and also that being experienced over in Kakamega County. Most of the representatives from Raila and Ruto's side over on both sides, but low voter turnout. What exactly will be the results that are going to be expected today and tomorrow once the tallying is complete? We'll be having a look at that as well. Business Daily, 2023 budget starts under Uhuru policies amid Ruto and Raila dispute. As I'd said earlier on, Treasury is now asking that cabinet secretaries prepare estimates, and this is based on policies that Uhuru Kenyatta's government, the outgoing administration made, and this is due to the uncertainty of who will be the head of state after President Uhuru Kenyatta takes off from office. The Standard, here security chiefs are fighting over rigging claims. Head of Public Service, who chair the National Security Organ, tells Supreme Court that they were worried about tensions building in the country and due to the delays in announcing results and not the outcome when they approached IEBC. So that situation where it is not well clear what the head of Public Service was having or what kind of discussion the head of Public Service was having with IEBC. Some giving claims that this was in preparation for rigging, while the head of Public Service is saying this was due to tension, or their predictions on tension building up all around the country due to the delay of those results. This is spread out in page 4 and 5. We'll be having a look at that. The mini headline in the Standard, ODM leads in Mombasa Kakamega races in the number of votes that were counted as of 11:30 p.m. yesterday night. The poll results of the races in Mombasa and Kakamega seems that the ODM candidates are leading over there. We'll be having a look at the updated results, of course, as we go on with the show. So don't go too far. Let's have a look at the bulletin and what has happened in the past 24 hours, and then we get back to matters of Biashara Tuesday. All right, welcome back again. These are the updates coming to you from KUTV Rise Today. In the capital city, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja has ordered the release of all impounded motorbikes at City Hall. Speaking after meeting with all county government staff, Sakaja further directed that all cases against border riders be immediately withdrawn in what is seemingly a reshaping of county business. Yesterday, the role of revenue collection has been reverted back to the county government from the national government. Sakaja also asked the city inspectorate to identify official drop-off and pick-up points within Nairobi.
Kuna manduthi zimewekwa sijui huko chini. I want all of those bikes released today to their owners. Tuliwa promise hivyo, tuwasamehe. Then we shall give them, si tulisema order. Tutaambia watu wa pikipiki, this is your drop off and pick up. But wakuwe na mpangilio, wawe na reflectors. Let's organize them from their from the sub counties. We know hii ni pikipiki ya Kayole ama ni ya wapi, where they pick and where they drop. Also Uber drivers, wale wa digital, mwatafutie mahali ya kupick na kudrop watu, si ati mnawashika, pia wanatafuta. The owners, if we have taken them to court, we need to withdraw.
I have to say, really commendable to see such kind of effort. I hope this, of course, pours or trickles down towards the rest of the policies and actual implementation is done, not just all talk. Now, Kenyatta University began the process of admitting fresh undergraduates yesterday. Parents and the students began streaming in from different parts of the country early in the morning today for the process that will continue through the whole week and culminate into matriculation on Friday.
Admission of the first-year students at Kenyatta University commenced on Monday, August 29 for the 2022 September academic year. Parents alongside the fresh scholars arrived at the institution some as early as 6 a.m. They exhibited confidence in the institution's capability to provide good education to their children, besides expressing pride in the courses on offer and for their children to pursue.
I'm happy to have brought my daughter here to be admitted, and we thank God for this fact.
The newly admitted students at Kenyatta University are no doubt excited to join the institution, describing the university as one of the best in the country. For some, the courses they are to pursue marry with their individual passion.
Wafanya performance, maana nimekuwa nikifanya juu chini ili mtoto aweze kufika university. Na sasa amefika university na tumemleta ako na confidence kwanza kwamba atafanya mzuri sana.
Expect nitapata good results kutoka hapa, nitakuwa the best.
The process of admission is expected to continue throughout the week. As the process of admission continues at Kenyatta University, both students and parents are hopeful that the cause of their hard work will pay off after 4 years. Christine Mwando, KUTV, Nairobi.
Thank you very much, Christine. And of course, again, congratulations to all those students or the freshmen of Kenyatta University. Long journey ahead, elimu ni nguvu. Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha has said that the Education Ministry is making the final steps on construction of CBC classrooms across the country. Magoha made the report as he officially opened classrooms for the new curriculum at Nile Road Secondary School in Nairobi.
In terms of CBC classrooms, we are now over 90%. The Central region, which is one of the largest regions in this country, is 100%, followed by the Northeastern region. The other region is 100% minus Kisii, which has a few classrooms to do. Eastern region being done by Mr. Subut is at about 95-96%. The coastal region and of course Western. And we are going to focus on Western, specifically Kakamega and Bungoma, which may still require that we go there, but they are also approaching 90%.
All right, in matters of politics, voting for the Mombasa governor kicked off yesterday morning, with most polling stations recording low voter turnout. In the gubernatorial race, the former Mombasa Senator Hassan Omar is facing stiff competition from outgoing Mvita Member of Parliament Abdul Swamad Nasir of ODM.
Among the 7 gubernatorial aspirants in Mombasa are Hezron Awiti of Vibrant Democratic Party, Hassan Omar Sarai of UDA, Dr. William Kingi of PAA, Daniel Kitsao, an independent candidate, Shafi Makazi of UPIA, Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir of ODM, and Said Abdallah of Usawa kwa Wote. Abdul Swamad Nasir, the gubernatorial candidate for ODM party, has cast his vote in the morning at Mvita Primary School, becoming the first candidate to vote. Nasir arrived at Mvita Primary at 9:30 a.m. and proceeded to vote in one of the polling stations. He was accompanied by Sabina Chege, the former Murang'a women representative. Chege appealed to everyone, and especially women, to come out and vote for their governor.
Hali ya usalama so far is good. We've not had any incidences.
Of course kuna mambo mengine tumeona wapinzani wetu wanajaribu kuyafanya, but we'll get there.
Ningeomba wanawake wa mama wote wajitokeze, kwa sababu hii ni kaunti yenu na gavana atakuwa gavana wenyu kwa miaka 5, na kwa hivyo ni vizuri wamama wajitokeze. Tuna maneno mengi sana tungetaka kusaidiwa na kaunti. Usipojitokeza leo, basi hutakuwa umechagua gavana wako.
The IEBC had earlier postponed the elections on 9th August due to errors in the printing of ballot papers. They will be further postponed by the IEBC chairman Wafula Chebukati for what he termed as insecurity issues to the IEBC officials. Muksin Mohammed, KUTV.
All right, so as of last night, 11:30 p.m., the ODM candidate for Mombasa, that is the Mombasa gubernatorial race, Abdul Swamad Nazir of Azimion Lawmoja, had garnered 64,736 number of votes, and 53,562 goes to Hassan Omar of Kenya Kwanza. So it's a tight race there. Of course, for former Senator Hassan Omar going against Azimion Lawmoja's candidate. Low voter turnout, as we have already heard there, was experienced there at the coast. In Mombasa, it looks like most people opted to go relax at the beach, according to the report here I'm seeing on the Daily Nation. At Pirates and the Nyali Beach, hundreds of people thronged to have a good time and swim from as early as 11 a.m. to late in the evening, a clear sign of them boycotting those polls. However, they're still too close to call. More results are coming in. We'll be following up on that and seeing what kind of development comes in, if the Azimion Lawmoja candidate is likely to take or to win this gubernatorial race. And I'll be having that conversation. Of course, as I said earlier on, we'll be having a chat on the newspaper review section later on, which has much more on politics, including that race in Mombasa and Kakamega. And Derek Oginga, who is a youth organizer for Azimion Lawmoja side, will be joining me here on set live. So make sure you're tuning in for that. Any question that you may have or anything you want to contribute to that kind of conversation, do send it in through our social media platforms. However, before we get to that, the postponed gubernatorial election in Kakamega went on yesterday as residents voted to elect their new governor after the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission opened the polling stations at 6 in the morning. In the race, Senator Cleophas Malala of the United Democratic Alliance, UDA, battled Fernandez Baraza of ODM for the county's top job.
Residents of Kakamega County woke up today to exercise their democratic rights of electing their governor after the gubernatorial election was postponed by IEBC due to errors made during the printing of ballot papers. 7 aspirants are battling to succeed weekly for Paranya as Kakamega governor. They include Fernandez Baraza of ODM, Cleophas Malala of ANC Party, Cyrus Jirongo, UDP Party, Suleiman Sumba of KANU, Samuel Omukoko, Maendeleo Democratic Party, Michael Osundwa, independent candidate, and Austin Opiso, also independent candidate. Kotu Secretary General Francis Atuoli expressed his confidence that his candidate, Fernandez Baraza, will carry the day in the race, as he urges politicians to stop instilling fear to Kenyans, but instead urge for the reconciliation. The exiting governor, Weekly for Paranya, who has put his weight behind ODM candidate Fernandez Baraza, distanced himself from a post made in his Facebook page that he supports Malala, saying the account was hacked. Baraza casted his vote at Bulimo Primary School polling station in Matungu and later addressed the public, claiming that there was a lot of voter bribery by his rivals. Kakamega County has a total of 844,551 registered voters, with the final count expected to reveal who will take over as the county boss after the votes tally. Patrick Oduor, KUTV.
All right, so that is what is happening over in Kakamega County. As I said, the leading candidate at that race is from Azimion Lawmoja, specifically the ODM party, and this is Fernandez Baraza at 265 votes as of 11:30 p.m. His closest rival, Cleophas Malala of the Kenya Kwanza side, with UDA as the party, getting 14,603 number of votes. And this, of course, is just so far as of what has been tallied as per the poll results of yesterday night, 11:30 p.m. We'll be looking at what has developed up to this morning, so stay tuned for more updates. Now, elsewhere, with a selective public holiday leveled upon them, residents of Kacheliba, Kitui Rural, Rongai, Pokot South, alongside Mombasa and Kakamega counties, got the opportunity to cast their votes for the candidates as the elections were called off. However, as Zipporah Waruguru reports, the exercise has been generally marked by low voter turnout. Let's see.
In Rongai constituency, Nakuru West MP-elect David Gikaria was heckled out of Kiamunyi Secondary Polling Station by voters who accused him of trying to influence voters to vote for Paul Chebor, a UDA candidate. Other candidates vying for the seat are Kibet Komen of Jubilee and MP Raymond Moi of Kanu, who is defending his seat as it's seen to be the last stronghold for the Moi family in Rift Valley region.
You know, when they hear a governor is here, a senator is here, and they're campaigning for the other party, they feel intimidated. Why should they bring all these people? There were about 54 of them, you know, in Rongai, against one person, one individual. One person, 54 elected members of whether it's Senate or National Assembly, you know. So it is that aspect of intimidation that I am concerned about.
Voting in Kitui Rural Constituency has been marked by commotion after presiding officer John Kavele threw a woman who was accused of voter bribery out of a polling station. The seat is being contested for by incumbent MP David Mwalika of Wiper Party and his rival Charles Nyamae of UDA. In Kacheliba constituency, UDA candidate MP Mark Lomonokol is facing off with Kenya Union Party candidate Titus Lote and Kanu candidate John Lodinya. Pokot South constituency, 3 candidates are contesting for the MP seat. Current MP David Kosing of KPU is defending his seat from UDA candidate Simon Kalekem and James Teko, an independent candidate. The remaining electoral seats being contested are the member of county assembly seats in Nyaki West Ward in Imenti North, Meru County, and Kwanjenga Ward in Embakasi, Nairobi County. Both wards have experienced a low voter turnout. Zipporah Waruguru, KU TV.
Thank you very much, Zipporah Waruguru, for that report on low voter turnout. We shall be, of course, having a look much more into what exactly is the voter apathy being experienced in the country. Why is that? Since the general elections, August 9th, still in the elections which are being held in various counties, low voter apathy or low voter turnout, indicating voter apathy still witnessed in these regions. As I said, in Mombasa County, they are over there having a good time at the beach instead of going to participate in the polls. We will know why exactly that is. Is it an issue of civic education, or is just a really, is it just a case of disinterest among the electorate? Following the filing of petitions at the Apex Court concerning the 2022 presidential election, the Supreme Court is now set to begin its pre-conference tomorrow or today. It is a week that has witnessed a beehive of activities as petitioners and respondents were filing their submissions at the registry. The affidavits have leveled various allegations, with the National Security Advisory Council yesterday denying the allegations which were made by IEBC commissioners on the attempt to tilt the outcome of the elections.
It's all systems go at the highest court in the land. The Supreme Court is set to convene a pre-trial conference as required by the Constitution within 8 days from filing a presidential election petition. After the pre-trial, the hearing of the petition will commence with this ruling set to be rendered on September 5th. A total of 9 presidential petitions were lodged at the Supreme Court on Monday, with 8 of them seeking to overturn President-elect William Ruto's victory. All 9 petitioners and the respondents are expected to participate in the pre-trial conference. In the presidential election petition, several petitioners are alleging serious violations of the electoral process. The respondents filed the affidavits and submissions to the petition, which has since unfolded a number of pertinent issues to the public eye. IBC Commissioners Boya Mulu and Abdi Gulie in the affidavit had alleged that the National Security Advisory Commission, NSAC, had asked them to influence the outcome of the presidential election in favor of Raila Odinga. NSAC has, however, denied the allegation, saying the team only went to Bomas to discuss the security concerns in relation to the delays in results transmission. The Apex Court will today be responding to the interlocutory applications before the pre-trial conference begins tomorrow. The official hearing will thereafter begin, and 7-judge bench led by the Chief Justice Martha Koome shall render the verdict on Monday, 5th September.
All right, so away from politics for a minute, a family is in distress and is now seeking answers from the Kakamega High School after the disappearance of their son, a Form 3 student. The 17-year-old boy, Neville Muka, allegedly went missing after reporting that he was feeling unwell.
With the disappearance of Neville Muka, a Form 3 student at Kakamega High School, the family has been forced to seek answers with very minimal leads. According to the victim's sister, Valerie Muhavi, the school reports that Neville was last seen on Wednesday, 24th August, and thereafter disappeared under unclear circumstances. She says that Neville had been ailing since Monday and that the mother had sent money to cater for his medication as required.
Ndugu yangu amekuwa mgonjwa kuanzia Monday last week. This week, I mean the week that just ended. So my mom was called that my brother is sick. She did she sent money for medication, and then on just following up as a parent, she followed it up on Wednesday. She talked to the boy was okay. Then she was also doing a follow-up call on Friday, and the feedback she got is that Neville came home and we've never seen him again.
Frederick Odhiambo, a rapid response officer from Haki Africa, demanded justice for the family after the school denied them entry into the premises without giving them clear directions on the whereabouts of the missing student. He demanded that the leadership of the school take full responsibility as the parent had entrusted their son to them. He urged for thorough investigations for the student and hoped he would be found alive.
We are here to demand that the school leadership gives conclusive and comprehensive conversation or report to the whereabouts of Neville, because it cannot just happen that somebody disappeared from school and there's no trace.
Now, what we are asking for is this. If the parent did not receive that information, does it really mean that the school does not have roll calls in classes? Because the teacher should have been the first person to find out that the student is missing.
The family continues to search for their son, having filed a report to the police in Kakamega, hoping to find him alive and well, besides asking for those responsible to take accountability. Stephanie Alice reporting for KUTV.
All right. Quite a sad story there coming from Kakamega. If you have or do get any information regarding that missing student, please do make sure you report to the relevant authorities. Promises from different governors, and in Murang'a County, Governor Irungu Kang'ata has said that the county will purchase medicine from the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA, exclusively. He said this move would ensure that the county funds are well spent by his government, of course, cutting out middlemen and private entities who exaggerate prices. He further noted that the county would hold talks with KEMSA to unfreeze their accounts, which were closed because of the 35 million shillings debt which they accrued. Also, he promised to enhance education by ensuring bursary programs are running uninterrupted.
We have to procure through government. KEMSA is a government entity, and therefore it's not a profit-making entity. You do not get any kickback once you procure from KEMSA, and therefore we feel we are under an obligation to get our supplies from government.
I think that brings us to the end of the most important updates that we could give you this morning. Of course, we'll be delving much more of what has happened, especially more current, into the Daily Nation, the Standard, and the Business Daily. If you have the Star and any other of the dailies this morning, the East African, make sure you also tell us what the headlines are like there. I'll be having a chat with Derek Ogenga, who's a youth organizer at Azimion Lawmoja. Atuambie, what can we expect in the coming few days in the world of politics and also in business. Remember, this is Biashara Tuesday. We are live on air, KUTV Kenya, streaming on Facebook, and also interact with us on all the social platforms where you are. Hashtag to use, hashtag Biashara Tuesday. My name is Richard Okenye. I'll be right back.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause? Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to use available pedestrian ways have been flagged by NTSA as the fatal 6 behaviors likely to lead to a fatal crash and serious injuries. As part of the Usalama Barabarani campaign, we request all road users to prevent these fatal 6 behaviors for their own safety and that of others. When driving, ensure your speed is within the stipulated limits. The road ahead is clear before overtaking. Stick to your lane. Keep left unless carefully overtaking. You're well rested if driving on long distances, and you never drink and drive. Usalama Barabarani starts with you. Fika Salama. This message is brought to you by the National Transport and Safety Authority and the European Union.
Sasa ni bora zaidi, mwanzo mpya, mambo mapya. Msimu mwingine wa Boresha Kilimo unakuletea teknolojia ibuka, kilimo mseto, uongezaji thamani. Teknolojia dijitali ya mauzo inawezesha ufikiaji wa masoko. Soko moko yako, mahangaiko yako ya kufikia masoko yamefika kikomo, manake tunao Mkulima Yangu.
What Mkulima Yangu does is it connects farmers with the market.
Hii ni Boresha Kilimo kwa ushirikiano na Mkulima Yangu. Atafutaye hachoki na kichoka kesha pata. Kwa makala maalum ya kilimo, ungana nasi kila Jumamosi saa 6:30 kwenye kipindi ukipendacho Boresha Kilimo.
Unemployment has hit you hard. Your salary is meager. You decide to venture into business, but you're struggling to thrive in it. You would want to reap a big tip on how not to run into losses.
Forget the preachy business vlogs, the hyperbolic motivational speeches, and all the roads down desperation.
Hope has come with model stories from small successful entrepreneurs. We tell you these tales weekly on The Budding Entrepreneur. Join us as we help you make your trade profitable and often smile to the bank.
Today I am at Jua e-bikes. So if you look at our bike, it's quite competitive compared to Boda Boda, which is currently used especially for delivery riders. This is because unlike a motorbike, you don't have to use fuel. So you basically need to use 12 shillings just to charge the full battery to operate within a day.
This is the battery. Every battery has its own key. So you put it in, you unlock. So you get it out. You can take it back in. Okay, you get it out for the purpose, the charging purpose. This is increasing the speed, reducing the speed.
The percentage in which government is giving opportunities to this specific type of groups under the AGPO, like what percentage has the government given?
No, but like I said,
You see, when a budget is done for every year, every ministry will be able to place their budget for it. But whatever is given to them, 30% of the budget for that ministry is dedicated to agro. 30%. So if let's assume, for instance, that a ministry is given 2 billion, for instance. Now, 30% of 2 billion would be about 600,000? 600 million. That will be dedicated to agro. And therefore, when you go to a ministry, as a young person, as a person living with disability, 600 million is actually meant for you.
This is The Agenda with Benturo Komboka and Colonel Retired Cyrus Oguna.
Alright, welcome back to Biashara Tuesday. Interact with us on the hashtag Biashara Tuesday. Rise today on all the social platforms. We are live on Facebook, by the way, KUTV Kenya. Keep the comments coming in, yeah? Tell us what you think. We are having a look at the headlines with Bwana Derek here, who is also the youth organizer at Azimion Lawmoja. Join hapa to, maybe get a perspective or his angle on what he thinks is happening in the world of politics, and also a bit into matters of business. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How was your weekend? Let's begin there.
Due to the opaque nature, my weekend was fine.
You cannot own the happenings of the weekend.
Exactly.
It was fine, though.
Yeah, it was fine.
Welcome to Biashara Tuesday.
Exactly.
A lot is happening, a lot of headlines, of course, hard-hitting headlines from the Standard, the Daily Nation, and the Business Daily as well. I don't know which one is the one that is eye-catching for you. I think I will lean more into the business side, which is the Business Daily, on how exactly the government or the incoming government will be handling the budget of the fiscal year starting July 2023. However, I don't know what has been your main concern or your most attraction on the headlines.
Exactly, the headlines about Kakamega, Mombasa, the elections.
Right. The race over in Mombasa and Kakamega, the first thing, of course, we've seen is the low voter turnout,
exactly.
Right? On the Standard here, they are showing the numbers in who is leading in Mombasa and who's leading in Kakamega County. If you take a look at as of 11:30 p.m. yesterday night, both counties, none of the, barely 100,000 in terms of the votes that have been counted so far. I don't expect much to be happening even as they continue to tally today. I might be wrong, I might not be wrong, but you are someone who was on the ground. Why is there, maybe you can begin there, why are we witnessing voter apathy, low voter turnout, especially even the youth who are the majority? We expect them to, come out and showcase their participation in the polls.
Thank you very much. Actually, the low voter turnout is associated with so many things. First, the current presidential election petition, which is happening. So Kenyans, some of them feel tired because it's unwise if you go to the polling station, you vote, then at the end, you are your best candidate. Maybe is being denied the opportunity to serve you through the ballot, maybe through some of crafty ways. So it also leads to that. And again, maybe the mobilization of the voters. That might also be the case.
So by mobilization, you mean do we need to get more people out? And as of course you've been an organizer for the Azimion side, how did you do that?
Actually, mobilization starts with the youth. Like me personally, during the previous election, we're mobilizing youth, having meetings with the youth across the country. Probably, I was in CIA. We're mobilizing youth, and when the youth have the psyche, the morale of the election, they'll also influence the elderly and the elderly. So maybe on mobilization part was also not that good as we expect.
What kind of motivation or have you seen which can be applied, of course, during this mobilization efforts to bring out more of these youth? What kind of motivation were you giving them, which of course led them to also bring out the elderly? And maybe we can learn from that and apply it in the future polls.
Yes, Rich, there's the issue of voter mobilization. You know, the youth feel well and accommodated when they are being involved in key decision making. For example, when the leader, like my area MCA and the MP, we called a meeting and the MP was there, the MCA was there. So they feel that involvement. So they work with motive and morale, knowing that the government they are fighting for is for them. Yes, and that gives them.
So being involved in that kind of decision-making process is something that whoever is gunning for office should be considering. You can take a look at the races which are happening for the gubernatorial positions in Mombasa and Kakamega, spread out, of course, as I said, in the page 8. And the results so far, ODM is leading. You being from the Azimion side, are you confident this is you're going to maintain the lead to the end?
Actually, we have no doubt.
that
the Mombasa and the Kakamega seats are going to come to Azimion, the ODM ticket. The result we are seeing here, we are not doubting the results because from the ground, they reflect what is the ground, especially now that the voter turnout, but the results are still just okay.
Right. There were issues or concerns of bribery allegations, and we've seen this in the Member of Parliament race in Rongai, and we've seen also over in Kakamega County where there have been, or yesterday, a couple of people were kicked out of polling stations in various locations because of trying to get into the polling stations. They are not participating in the elections, but also trying to, pay off a few voters to move over to their most preferred sides. Even former cabinet secretary allegedly, that is participating in voter bribery in Kakamega, that is Rashid Echesa. Is this a norm now? Do we not have enough security agencies to ensure that this is not happening right inside the polling stations? Or how exactly is this being allowed to happen? We know that it's a norm before the elections for the politicians to go around dishing out a few coins here and there, but right inside the polling stations?
Actually, the power, those who has power, we call it people with the power in quotes, they tend to feel that they can access anything. Also, they can access ways of that leads at the end, they are the people who are benefiting. Like yesterday we saw the MP, the incumbent for Rongai, that is Raymond Moi. He was crying in quotes, crying that there's a lot of voter bribery, and maybe he was frustrated, by the way, because if you see MPs from Kenya Kwanza, he said that majority of MPs were deployed, worked as mobilizer in the area, and that's the guy was frustrated, and at the end you see the UDA candidate, that is Paul Chebor. So he's taking early lead.
Right.
Exactly.
So this is still just a few leaders who are trying to bypass the due process of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission. And we're going to get into, of course, the big question which is being asked on the Daily Nation, on the front page there: will IEBC pass the independence test? Even as we take a look at some of these voter bribery allegations and also, trying to manipulate the results, is the IEBC conducting a free, or did they conduct, and still, because elections are still going on, are they conducting a free and fair election? Before I get your view on that, as someone who's an organizer and who was on the ground, results which are coming in from Kakamega County show that Fernandez Barraza, as of this morning, is leading with 192,768 votes, and followed closely, of course, by Cleophas Malala at 159,200 275. So you said you were very confident.
We are confident because Malala is also not that weak candidate. He's also strong, he's loved. But when it comes to victory, the ODM.
A very curious case yesterday of social media accounts of incumbent governor Wycliffe Oparanya being hacked or allegedly hacked to endorse Cleophas Malala. Was that a hack or is he actually in support of Malala?
To me, in my own opinion, that's my thought, yeah?
Okay.
Because I still have no solid evidence to base my accusation on that. By that is a strategy. You know, politics is all about strategy.
All right.
Because the people of Kakamega and also the politicians, they still know that Wycliffe Oparanya is still the kingpin when it comes to Kakamega politics. So maybe they wanted to sway the voters, because if you see your working governor endorsing someone and this governor overworked for you, so maybe it will brainwash your mind and vote otherwise.
All right, so Fernandes Barasa is ahead of Cleophas Malala in Kakamega County. You can have a look at those results. A lot of comments, of course, coming here. Ishaenda na Barasa, think of all the stolen money that trashed the kingpins. That's Gideon Nyakora. I don't know what that is being aimed towards, but yes, continue giving us your feedback. Now, we had just touched there a bit on what is in the headlines of the Daily Nation. The buck stops here at IEBC. Did they conduct a free, fair, and credible elections? And are they still doing that? IEBC Chairman Wafula Chebukati was given an election, or given the mandate to deliver an election which is credible and verifiable at a budget which is really huge, yeah? So 46 billion being used towards an election where petitions are being filed left, right, center. 8 of them, of course, being filed at the Supreme Court, which they are going to be having deliberations as of this morning, 11 a.m. Before we get into the petitions, did Chebukati deliver a free and fair elections?
In my own opinion, and the facts that cutting across IBC, to me, the election was not free and fair, because for a free and fair election, you cannot have the split of the IBC commissioners, even if they were of interest. Maybe 2 of the IBC officials were in Kenya Kwanza, 2 of the IBC, some of the IBC officials were supporting Azimion. You know, they cannot be split because everything, so the results, if they were verified and final result be given, I doubt if we could have the split in IBC. Right. Because at the end, when the final result could not go well with some of the commissioners, they'll have no doubt, because they will just say, this, even if we doubt it, even if we have lost, but everything was transparent.
So it's really, we can say without a doubt whatsoever that this is not an independent commission. The fact that still we have a split right there in the middle.
As it stands, this is not still an independent.
So Raila Odinga, who is of course, the leading candidate and the presidential candidate for Azimion, says that regardless of the decision that the Supreme Court comes up with, whether they nullify or uphold the elections, if they nullify the elections and we have to go for a rerun, he will not like the current IEBC chairman to preside over this kind of election. When we get such a stalemate, such as we did in 2017, we go through a petition to the Supreme Court, they nullify the elections, and we have to go for another fresh election, where, as we saw in 2017, Raila Odinga refused to participate because the same commission was the one conducting the elections. Do we have time to maybe create a new commission? Is that the way forward? And what is your thought process on what exactly can pan out in a scenario where the Supreme Court nullifies the election and Raila Odinga refuses to participate?
Exactly. Let me take you back a bit. For example, you are in a class and you have done your exam or you have done your CAT. Then after the results come out, you have 3 out of 30. Yet, if you go to your answer sheet, you see there are some of the things you got right from the module or from the textbook, but you have been wrong. That one you must claim, right?
Right.
And you will start questioning the lecturer's act towards that. And maybe if you remind him or him or her about the marks, he or she will give you a reason. But if he fails to give you a reason, then you must have doubt. You must have great doubt about that. So the Azimion coalition head, that's Raila Amolo Odinga, if he insists that he wants a new chairman or a new part of the IBC, it's within his constitutional rights, so he has the right to do so.
Right.
But I'm sure the Constitution has a way of handling that.
Right.
Yes.
On page 2 of the Standard, also there, President-elect William Ruto asking the Supreme Court to expunge affidavits from those from those commissioners who fell out with their chairman. So it looks like still on Kenya Kwanza they're not confident with the whole commission, especially because there's that split. Half of them saying that they are not satisfied with the results, and Ruto saying those ones are the ones who are on the wrong. The other side on the Azimion also pointing out to the chairman, saying that he's on the wrong and whatever he delivered as results cannot really be credible. Also, Ruto asking that they be locked out, all these commissioners be locked out of the case that is happening over at the Supreme Court. Which brings me to the question. And the big question is, does Azimion Lawmoja have a case to present at the Supreme Court? Is their case strong enough for us to be considering it, or for the Supreme Court either to nullify or order a fresh count of the votes?
Rich, you can, just like any other petition, you cannot go to Supreme Court without evidence. More so, an evidence that you know well will be dead on arrival. And if you follow closely between the two principles that from Kenya Kwanza, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto and Right Honorable Raila Odinga from Azimion, if you look very well, and the measures or the points at which the Azimion is defending the 4 commissioners is different from the way Kenya Kwanza are defending Chebukati, because, and that's bring clearly that there's something behind the curtain, which we will be yet to know in near future.
Right.
But because if the president-elect supports the person who announced him as the president-elect, that's somehow, there's an interest somewhere.
Right. And actually that is one of those things here which have been mentioned by Azimion's affidavit, saying that the results which were announced by Chebukati were done so, and this was without public announcement of results from 27 constituencies. Chebukati coming out, of course, to respond and saying that he was forced to declare Ruto as president-elect without public declaration of those 27 constituencies due to a limited timeline and prevailing conditions at the National Tallying Center. Azimion say they have proved their case beyond doubts, and they are waiting only for the court to see the facts which have been presented before them, and maybe hopefully lead to the recount or the nullification of these results. So you can take a look at that on page 3 of the Standard, and also which is pouring over to page 4, where there is also that concern of intrusion of the IEBC portal by third parties. We have that scenario of 3 Venezuelan nationals who were arrested in Nairobi, in JKIA, just before elections, and also now claims that there was hacking which was done on the portal by IEBC, replacing Form 34As. These situations of hacking, system integrity, have also been witnessed by the side of Azimion, where one of the ODM agents is coming out to say that one of the forms which have been submitted at the Supreme Court, one of the Form 34As, is fake. How do we have, as someone who's been on the ground, who was on the ground also during the election period, how do we have fake documents showing up in between, and also system integrity? Will we ever, let me just phrase it in a positive way, will we ever be really fully prepared in terms of systems and technology to hold an election?
Actually, if those in charge of election are transparent, they decide to be transparent, they don't want intrusion from either parties, that one will have a free and fair election, or the election process. For example, The reason why that is so, because the other day you saw some of the POs, presiding officers, showing up at the Azimion lawyers' offices, that they are not confident of some of the Form 34As that were submitted. Yeah. So that also clearly tells you that something.
So we need to have a commission that is independent and transparent before we get to issues of whether the system is working and rigging claims. Now, since we've already had a look at the numbers coming from Mombasa and Kakamega, and we've seen there's voter apathy, low voter turnout as well, people not participating, even looking at the total number of voters who did come out in the August poll, 14 million against a backdrop of 20 plus million who were supposed to show up at the polls. Also not considering that we have a 50 million population. A question here on the standard that is being asked in, I forget what page that was, yes, on page 10. On page 10 of the standard, Kenyans' focus on the presidency is misplaced. Here, Dennis Kabara is postulating that it is important that maybe we focus more on other positions that are not the presidency. We are heavily invested in the presidency, and he claims that national level legislators are fine and good, but all the development, all the politics is local. Here's where your governor comes in, your MCA comes in, where devolution takes place. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I totally agree with that. And also based from before election, the previous sentiments by Senior Counsel Martha Karua, who is also the deputy Azimion head, you saw her saying that in Kiswahili, and I don't want to say that.
Okay.
He say elect a good MCA, MP, and governor, women rep, senator. That's when you will also focus on the presidency. Because if you focus on the presidency, the president has a lot of mandate. It is your MCA or your MP who will reach the president to tell him or her the issues that are affecting you on the ground.
Okay.
But you, if you focus just on the president alone and you neglect electing a good MCA, like what I can tell you, now we are seeing a new crop of leadership, and the way the incoming governors, the governors elect who were just sworn in the other day.
Right.
You see, they're coming up with new strategies as far as development is concerned. You see, the other day in Turkana, the governor-elect, there he was walking, touring at the hospitals,
right,
and he was surprised of seeing some patients lying down, you see. And today you saw Irungu Kangata say, talking about the medicine and how it should be.
Right.
And in Nairobi you saw yesterday Sakaja impounded the motorbikes riders, and those are some of the key things that people should focus in. Even as you say that, of course, new governors coming in, looking at the numbers here that are on the standard, page 10, by the numbers we're talking, 30 new governors out of 45, yeah? Exactly. So it's possible that we punish if a governor isn't, taking care of the revenue, taking care of the bills, taking care of water and health, roads everywhere, all these promises that they give, it's possible that if we focus on that level of the governor, the MCA, the women representative, by the way, who is also someone who plays a really key role. And I'm seeing here, there have been 31 new senators, as I said, out of the ones who are coming in, 45, 34 new women reps out of the 47, and 146 new MPs out of 286. So it's time that we did actually focus on what the local government, where devolution is concerned and where the electorals are in touch with the leadership. Exactly. Like in my county, this round we focused on electing leaders who can serve us. The other day you saw our governor, senior counsel James Agribobo Rengo, and his deputy. Those are two intellects that can be trusted with development issues as far as the county is concerned. Also, you saw as re-electing our member of parliament, that is Honorable Samuel Atandi. So that somehow tells you that nowadays the electorates are much wiser compared to the previous one, because in our constituency, it's only an MP can only be elected once.
Okay.
And you are elected once, you go, they find another new one. But this case, it was different. And he won with a lot of votes. Okay. Imagine, there was a bigger margin. So that tells you how the electorates now are much prepared.
Right. And politics is local now.
Exactly.
The third wave. This, I think, is the third time since the new constitution, the third round of elections. So we are hoping that it's also a third wave where we are at least trying to focus on some of those ballot or some of those polls which are happening on the local level. So now the incumbent, the government that is going to take over from President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration here, according to the Business Daily, they're saying they're going to have to start doing budget allocation, and this is still on the policies that were in place by Uhuru Kenyatta's administration based on the uncertainty when the new head of office will take place. We're going to have a scenario where we go to petitions for a couple of months and a couple of weeks, and if we go for another rerun, it means we still have more time before we can fully settle in to the next government. Do you feel like the political instability or that indecision, that uncertainty on who is going to take head of office is creating any sort of tension in the country? As someone who is also, of course, in touch with the youth on the ground, someone who's an organizer, and how can youth maintain calm even in this uncertain situation?
What I can tell my fellow youths, that even if we go for a rerun, just ensure you do your democratic right of voting, but don't engage in unpeaceful matters. We say zuia vurugu, elections bila noma. So you just do the right thing.
Right.
Because at the end, you will never see a politician taking his or her son to riot or ban things. And even this one I can advise our youth also. The time that you are disagreeing with the election and going to ban resources within your area, that one, you are a threat to development of that area.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. So even as we have a look at the petitions and also see whether or there's a possible rerun, Moses Kuria's case has been thrown out by the Supreme Court, and Moses Kuria's, of course, petition was seeking to throw out Raila's suit, saying that the violence or the mini chaos which was experienced at the Bomas of Kenya was a result of the agents of Raila Odinga, and therefore he does not have a case to present in the Supreme Court. But it turns out, as I said, I think we actually did say it last week here jokingly, that with Vincent Odundo, when we were doing a newspaper review here, that Moses Kuria does not have a case. And it turns out he actually does not.
Moses Kuria does not have a case.
Did you expect his case to hold water?
That one was normal, and the case was dead on arrival. But it's good, he tried his best.
All right. He tried his best, and also something that people also have been saying, even in the opinion columns here on the Standard and in the Daily Nation, is that some of these things are also really good in firewalling democracy, creating a very strong democratic environment even into the future. So regardless of whether there's nullification or upholding of the elections this time round, still we've made a few strides towards having a transparent and free, fair and transparent election.
Exactly. And my great concern and my happiness is both sides, that is Kenya Kwanza and Azimion, they have preached peace.
Right.
They have preached peace all the way, but there can't be peace without justice.
Right.
So justice comes, then peace prevails.
If you go for a rerun, do you, in your confidence, say who will win? Right. Let's see who will win between Raila Amolo Odinga. We are going for a fresh rerun. Raila Amolo Odinga there, and also DP Ruto again for another round to determine who is the fifth. You've been in touch with the ground. You are organizing for the Azimion Lawmoja side. Will Raila Odinga win it?
Yeah, we are confident, but
what will change? What will change?
Maybe the strategists have told you about the mobilization. That is key. That is key. I think that is the key thing when a rerun is called, because now we cannot talk about a rerun on a case that is still in court.
Okay.
We just leave our learned friends to handle that case with care, but we are optimistic we are going to win this.
All right. So we shall be having our our eyes all on the Supreme Court as they make that decision. Ensure you're having also your perspective and also opinion on what is happening, but based on facts, of course, all spread in the dailies this morning. As I said, the Business Daily has much more on business, on budget, and the economy. And this is regards, of course, to what is happening there at the Supreme Court. Uncertainty on who is going to be head of state. However, national budget is still getting the estimates coming from the Cabinet Secretary to the Treasury are still ongoing. And should the Supreme Court nullify the result, and this leads to the disbandment of, or because of that split of the IEBC, it will take months before a new president takes office, which means whoever takes office still has to work under outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta's policies before tweaking them and trying to implement their very own. Get a copy of the Business Daily and see what you can invest in as well. I'll be having a look into this as we go on with the show. Today is also another day for you to try out NYS, National Youth Service, which will be running for the next 6 days. Do you encourage people to join NYS?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's good for the nation, trying to see that the youth are also involved in developmental programs by the government. So if you can try out the NYS, please go there and try your luck and tell us how that goes. Your last remarks, of course, Bwana Derek, as we go on for this short break, on your expectations on the Supreme Court, whether on the Supreme Court, the elections over at Kakamega and Mombasa, and what maybe the country can expect in the next few days.
When we go to the elections at Mombasa and Kakamega, we are very much confident that the ODM candidates, the Azimion candidates, will carry the day. And also in Kakamega, so it's a tight race, by the way, but we are optimistic that Fernandez Baraza will carry the day.
By the end of today,
yes,
hopefully.
Lastly, maybe.
Right.
We also know our first years are coming about.
Yeah, okay. Here, before I let you go, I'm going to have you read the quote at the back of the Business Daily. It's customary that we have our guest read that for us.
Yes.
You are someone who is over at the Azimion side, which also entails ODM, Jubilee as the main parties and others. Jubilee is auctioning their building, right? The headquarters, and Stanbic Bank is doing that. Maybe chini ya maji too. Is that the end of the party? The Jubilee party?
No, because personally I don't think that's the end of the party, because the end of the party cannot be decided by auctioning of a building. Exactly.
All right.
Maybe they just want to auction the reason why they are auctioning that building, majority, we don't know.
They might be moving to
moving to a better place, or maybe they are tired of being there.
Okay.
So there are so many reasons.
So there's nothing political with Jubilee auctioning?
I doubt.
Okay, so if you're those people who are yesterday crying over the internet or just shouting and saying Jubilee is dead because of that headquarters, maybe let's wait and see what kind of communication comes over from the Jubilee party. Last words from the Business Daily.
There are two primary choices in life: to accept conditions as they exist, or accept the responsibility for changing them.
All right. Can we get that again?
There are two primary choices in life: to accept conditions as they exist, or accept the responsibility for changing them.
Right. That's the national speaker for, his name is Dennis
Waitley.
Yes, Dennis Waitley. That is it on the newspaper reviews this morning. If you have anything that you'd like to add on to what we just discussed with Mr. Derek here, please do tell us on all the social media platforms. I'll be reading that. It is 8:25 in the morning. Biashara Tuesday is going all the way to 10 a.m. Much more business is coming up. #Biashara Tuesday. Do not go far. We'll be right back.
today I am at Jua e-bikes. So if you look at our bike, it's quite competitive compared to Boda Boda, which is currently used especially for delivery riders. This is because unlike a motorbike, you don't have to use fuel. So you basically need to use 12 shillings just to charge the full battery to operate within a day.
This is the battery. Every battery has its own key. So you put it in, you unlock. So you get it out. You can take it back in. Okay, you get it out for the purpose, the charging purpose. This is increasing the speed, reducing the speed.
The percentage in which government is giving opportunities to this specific type of groups under the AGPO, like what percentage has the government given?
No, but like I said, you see, when a budget is done for every year, every ministry will be able to place their budget for it. But whatever is given to them, 30% of the budget for that ministry is dedicated to AGPO. 30%. So if let's assume, for instance, that a ministry is given 2 billion, for instance. Now, 30% of 2 billion would be about 600,000? 600 million. That will be dedicated to AGPO. And therefore, when you go to a ministry, as a young person, as a person living with disability, 600 million is actually meant for you.
This is The Agenda with Benturo Komboka and Colonel Retired Cyrus Oguna.
Unemployment has hit you hard. Your salary is meager. You decide to venture into business, but you're struggling to thrive in it. You would want to reap a big tip on how not to run into losses.
Forget the preachy business vlogs, the hyperbolic motivational speeches, and all the roads down desperation.
Hope has come with model stories from small successful entrepreneurs. We tell you these tales weekly on The Budding Entrepreneur. Join us as we help you make your trade profitable and often smile to the bank.
Nezanita Magishek, nimekuja Career Week kuangalia course yenye nataka.
Mimi naitwa Tinka.
Zaza. Kwaji. Gopoa. Chagua career. Don't look at peer pressure. Just focus on what you want to do in life and follow your passion.
Imagine living in a society that embraces social justice and equal opportunities for all. On Woman Crush Wednesday, Rise Today, we bring you experts for meaningful conversations on matters, gender equality.
Mimi nasaona hakuna gender equality as we speak.
So we continuously work with the men.
I feel that they're judging the girl. Parenthood.
Mind is very important in infertility.
Mental and physical health.
You need to be surrounded by a proper network. After nimeanza healing process, nilikumbuka kuhusu boys na wase wenye niliacha ghetto. Like kila wakati nilikuwa najaribu kutafuta mbinu yenye naweza wafikishie ujumbe.
I feel like if you have 15 minutes, if you have 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever amount of time, use it, because any physical activity.
Binsari. Binsari is spice in my local language. When you speak it, it has a B, but you say it with a soft, like when you say baba. Well, we'll talk about that later. Welcome back to Biashara Tuesday. We are still here on much more matters of business. And we're getting into the launch to now get a look into what entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, are doing all over the country. This is the time where I take a back seat and also get to write a few notes. And we can get to learn, of course, from each other and see what we can apply from what these entrepreneurs have done. I have here Marceline from Binsari. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What's the laughter? Am I doing it right?
Yeah, pretty well.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's a good shot. How was your weekend? And how is your day today?
Well, my weekend was awesome.
Yes.
And my day today is very bright.
Very bright.
Yeah.
And so are you. So welcome to the show. Let's get into your business. Binsari. Why Binsari Beauty?
Well,
do I say it Binsari now because of the general audience?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Binsari Beauty.
Okay, so the name came about, first, Binsari Beauty was not even a beauty-based organization. It was under Aura Services, and we were offering hair services and food services, whereby we were cooking pilaus on Wednesdays and selling them at around 100 shillings per a tin. So when time went by, I realized that when you combine the two, you can't really say that you can kill two birds with one stone. So, because basically beauty was my passion, I decided to opt for beauty and leave the pilau stuff aside. Because cooking pilau takes a lot of time, and plating someone takes a lot of time. And juggling schoolwork with business, it's quite tough.
Beauty and pilau sounds very poetic. Is this something do you plate people as they eat pilau, or how did that work out? Different clients?
Okay, as you said actually, Binsari is a spice. So in pilau, we cook with spice. And in beauty, we also ensure that you look like a spice.
Whoa, that's nice. I'd like to look like a spice too. Are you catering for men and women, or just exclusively to women?
Okay, we cater for both. So we have for shaving services for the males, and also if you need some makeup, glam, for male, we also have them.
Okay, so maybe a breakdown on some of the, or maybe the activities that you have at the top at Binsari Beauty.
Okay, at Binsari Beauty, we have a lot in store. Because we do not want, I can't say we do not want to major into making people's heads and taking good care of their faces and stuff. The major thing about Binsari Beauty, we want it to be a brand. And for this brand to be a brand, we have to make it unique, something that other beauty industries have not done. So with Binsari Beauty, we are aiming at mostly promoting marketing for other beauticians, in the sense as Uber for beauty. So let's say, the way you have, this company is called Bolt. When you have Bolt, you can just go to the app, then you check and see for maybe someone who's closer by, so you to be able to book that Nini Bolt. For Binsari Beauty, you can be able to get other beauticians who are there and near the location that you are, and you're going to have reviews for them. You're going to have to see the types of hairstyles that they do and which type of quality, like the quality of that beautician, so that you may be able to get it. We just want to create quality for our people. And also, we are also venturing into creating a machine whereby it's going to be plating people's heads at the convenience of your home.
How does that work? So is that different from, does that simplify the process, I'm guessing, from when it's hand done?
Yes, actually it has a lot of benefits. One, we're going to be taking care of people with sensitive skins, especially because ukienda kwa saloon unapata kuna saloni sule atakuvuruta tu. Hata fikiria uko na sensitive scalp.
Utalia usemi.
Utalia tu, and then you go at night to sleep, your head is paining, the next day will be a rough day for you. Then the other thing you're going to focus on is consistency. Because you can check, kuna salon atashuka hapa, but once, I don't know, it's called efficiency inaendelea kuloa as you go on.
Okay.
So atakushuka huku itakaa vizuri, then ukikuja huku kwingine itakaa ni kama it's not that quite good.
Okay.
Itakaa shaggy. Then you also want to ensure comfortability. Ukiwa kwa salon sitashika nywele akurusha huku, arusha huku, but when you have this machine, you just put your head, you just relax, have your smooth music with you. Hakuna mshene ile yenye inakuanga kwa salon.
I thought that's also the attractive part of the salons.
But sasa, you know, the thing is, you're kwanzia let's give an example of someone from Monday till Friday, ako at work. So you are tired, like you're always on screen, uko tu umechoka. You just need Saturday and Sunday for resting, or even maybe Sunday alone for resting. And then you go to the salon, you see there are 6 good hours. And then these 6 good hours, someone is giving mshene about, maybe let's say about you.
Oh.
So the next time unajua tu obviously ni wewe watakuwa wakiongelelea.
Once you've left.
Exactly. So why should you go for that mshene, and you can just sit at your place, listen to good music and comfort.
Okay. So is this machine coming in soon, or how far along are you?
Yeah, it's coming in soon. Soon. And that soon is just around the corner, because we are currently on Monday we're going to have a pitch whereby in JKUAT we have JKUAT Tech Expo. So we're going to pitch it. That is our first pitch. Then we're going to provide our prototype. Then after the prototype, we are going to now show the initial market. Yes.
Are you the ones making the machine? I thought you're sourcing it actually. Initially.
No, we are not sourcing it. We are actually developing it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a team of some individuals. Amongst my team is a girl called Kawara. Yeah, she's my communication and planning person, shout out. And then another one is Danson. He's our engineering expert at that place. And then our programming guy is called Simon.
Quite a big team for Insari Beauty. Did you begin with such a huge team, or have you been doing it alone before?
Never quite began with them at first. I began with a friend who is a mentor. He's called Asura. Yeah, alikuwa ananipatianga motivation. Yeah, just do you, just be you.
In the world of beauty.
Yeah.
So what was your first step into the world of beauty? Did you plait your own hair? Did you go and have a bad experience at a salon? Or what led you to now the first step and say, I'll just be doing this myself and for other people too?
Okay, what really motivated me, okay, I won't say it started motivated or made me start. I usually saw my aunt plait people, and I usually learn via observation. That is my most valuable skill. So when I look at something, I tend to duplicate it. So while I was seeing my aunt plait, I decided to use dolls. I used to tell my mom, endo ninunulie doli, nataka doli. So hii doli nikichukua, I used to plait it. Or at school, we usually had the backyard kwa shule, enye ilikuanga na manyasi refu. So this nyasi refu tulikuwa tunashuka during break time. So as time went by, nilikuwa naendelea kushuka. Sasa nikishuka hivyo, at least skill inaendelea ku-increase, na sikuwa najua. Okay, we usually say practice makes perfect.
Yeah. But you never aware during the
sikuwa najua, like, hey, I was really practicing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
until I did the actual work on my sister's heads. Sasa nikaanza kuwashuka, nikaanza kushuka mama yangu. And then as
time became your thing now.
Yeah.
So you're really good at being hands-on with plating.
Yes, I usually even plait myself sometimes.
Is this by you?
Yeah, actually, this is a wig by me.
Okay.
Yes.
That's nice. So you also do make wigs, or?
Yeah, I usually make the wigs too, custom made, depending on what you want.
Custom made.
Yes.
That's nice. You said that you're going to be an Uber for beauticians.
Yes.
So how do people get to these beauticians, and how do you get these beauticians yourself?
Okay. So as I said, we have a team. And this team, we're going to program and create an app. So this app is what we're going to use. Itakuwa na those specifications inside them. So like location,
proximity.
Exactly. Zitakuwa zote tu kwa hiyo app. So it's just you, unaingia kwa the app itself, and We just key in whatever you want. And then we also be giving people some advices and being comfortable on your skin, use which products to use. Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about a case of maybe some salonists or beauticians ambao wako rough in how they handle their clients, wako na story mingi, vitu kama hizo. How will you prevent that with the app to ensure maybe you're getting the correct ones when unajua kazi? How will you vet them before you bring them on board?
Okay, so our vetting will be based on your work. Because some people even can give you a photo from somebody else's work. So with us, we are going to ensure like there's some form of regulation in the beauty industry, whereby kazi yako ndio tunaweka hapo. If it is shaggy as it is, that is what we are putting there. So sisi ndio tunaenda kwa ground, we source with the different people, and then we now upload everything on the site. But in that site, we are going to write the staff who has done it. Because if you write the saloon, itakuwa inapatia anybody else. Exactly. The saloon itself is awesome. But saizo, it's not.
So you want every single person to be independently there on the platform.
Exactly.
And I'm guessing also the reviews will help because seeing what other customers have said. Saizi, I don't think we have that where I walk in, even to a barber shop. I don't have reviews. That's why we rarely cheat on our barbers because I don't have reviews for any other barber that I can trust. So I guess that's really an important aspect too.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought of this, why are you this trustworthy to this barber and yet, akizeeka, who will be shaving your hair?
That I am hoping he does not. I hope tutazeeka pamoja na yeye asiache craft because personally I've been maintaining the same barber for 4 years or 5 years now, and before that I did a very huge mistake of switching to someone else, and they gave me a really bad hairline, which I hope there are no photos of that out there. Anyway, let's get back to Binsari Beauty. You said you are offering something that's going to be unique, yeah? So
Yes.
there's that aspect of Uber for beauticians and also a very personalized setting. Is there any other unique thing that we can maybe take a note of from you?
There's no other unique thing.
Right.
It's all about loyalty and trust.
Okay. So in going into the future now, right? Binsari already has an app and already has this machine that is coming out. Do you have a physical location where people come through, or are you going to be doing house calls as well?
Okay, currently we have a physical location in Juja, and we would like to expound Overbound out of the central region. And it's in Juja Gate C. And we also do mobile.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do mobile house calls at the moment?
Yes, we also do mobile house calls.
Okay. So how do people access you right now since you don't have an app? And
yeah, you can access me via my socials, that is at Instagram at binsaribeauty.ke, at Twitter at binsaribeautykenya, at YouTube at binsaribeauty, and via my contact, that is 0759 13 11 35.
Just for quality control, the products that you use for Binsari Beauty, how do you know which one will work really well? Because I'm someone like myself who's really afraid of having new maybe lotions or products being applied to my skin, might overreact, something like that. Is there a process in determining which product goes to which one, or how a client is handled, different skin, different hair from the next?
Okay, for this, we are going to go per your prescription. As in, whatever the customer wants is whatever the customer will get.
Okay.
So if you want Miadi, that is what you'll get.
All right.
If you want Gania, that is what you'll get.
Are you going to maybe in the future go into your own products? Have you thought of that, or is that not of interest?
It's of interest. I would like to have a facial product that takes care of people's skin.
Okay. Awards. I know you've won a couple of awards, and could you tell us about them and how that came to be?
Well, actually, recently I received an award as the Entrepreneur of the Year. I believe people believed in me, and because of elegance, and because of elegance, I believe that is why I won the award.
Entrepreneur of the Year.
Yeah.
Is this something you have been looking forward to win, or just came by your way and you were like, yeah, of course I am Entrepreneur of the Year?
Actually, I was looking forward for it. And during this award, I was not only winning it for Binsari Beauty, but I was winning it for my late dad, because he was also an entrepreneur, and he owned a security firm called Siangoi Taj Security. It's still in operation. If you also need services of security, you can holler at me at the same contact info, and you'll still get the services.
Indeed, Entrepreneur of the Year, always plugging in all the businesses which are relevant to you. You said men can also get services. What services are there for men?
We have massage, we have the hair shavings, and we also have makeup.
Pricing. Let's talk pricing, right?
Yeah.
I think I'll start with men. Massage ni pesa ngapi?
Ina depend ni massage ya wapi. Kuna full body massage at 10K. And some few others. The most cheapest one is 1,000 shillings, and it's just for hands. Like
hand massage.
Yeah.
Is that important? Do I need to have my hands massaged?
Yeah, sure.
I've never thought about that. Okay.
After a rough day.
After a rough day.
Yes.
Okay. Who's doing the massages?
I have some qualified staff.
Okay.
That we've employed. Yeah, and they're the ones who do the massages.
All right. Pricing for the ladies' products. Wigs, plating, how does that work?
Okay, for plating, it depends with whatever style you're going to be plated. Maybe for braids, it ranges from 500 shillings to 1,000 shillings. For wigs, it depends with whatever you're going to be custom made for, depending on the braid that you're going to use. So let's say like this one, this braid, when I use one packet goes for around 800 shillings. So when I take two, that is 1,600. So I have to incorporate also labor and the cape inside, then the machine, how you're going to, the Uzis.
All right, all that math. So it depends on the. What's the cheapest? What's the cheapest?
The cheapest you can get is a crocheted one at 1,000 shillings. Yeah.
And the most expensive?
The most expensive.
Or you don't want to? Maybe you don't put a cap on that.
Exactly.
Yeah, just don't. Yeah, it's at 200,000. If you'd like to get yours at Binsari Beauty. Thank you very much for giving us an insight into your business. What would you say is the thing that has driven you the most in doing this business so far and has kept you going, even in times maybe, I'm hoping there have not been, but if there have been times where you've felt like giving up, that made you not give up?
Okay, whatever made me not give up is my desire for growth and become a role model to my children. Yeah.
You have them?
No, I don't have a child, but I'm saying in future, as in...
Of course. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Binsari Beauty. You can give us, of course, for one more round, where people can get you, social media handles and contact details. And is there a website now?
Currently, we don't have a website.
It's going to come with the app?
Yes.
Okay. Social media handles, one last time.
Okay, if you want to get us, you can get us on Twitter at Binsari Beauty, on Facebook at Binsari, on Instagram at binsaribeauty.ke, or you can check under my account, that is _Binsari_. Then on YouTube at Binsari Beauty Kenya.
All right, Binsari Beauty Kenya. Make sure you check that. That's Joel Marcelin speaking to us here, an entrepreneur, and also they call you CEO, founder, head at Binsari Beauty. All of those, amazing. Check them out and get their services. And also do tell us what your experience was like over there at Binsari Beauty. I'll be trying out their massage sooner or later. So if you see me fresh all day here one of these Tuesdays, know that they did it. Biashara Tuesday takes a break. I'll be right back. Continue interacting with us on social media platforms at KUTV Kenya.
The money
All right, ni masaa ya economy ya mtaa. This is the time where we have a highlight of some of the businesses which you guys are doing over at your locations. Ukitaka tuvuje, we highlight, we also learn a few things, we try and do that. And kwa economy ya mtaa today, we have a look at Acha Digital, who are connecting brands with the right audiences with the use of data and analytics, which is really important in the 21st century. Data is becoming the gold mine of these current times. They're coming up with innovative lead acquisition tactics, which are intended for the customer's eyes. So how are they connecting brands to the right audiences? This is how. Check it out.
My name is Alex Moy. I'm founder and creative director of Acha Digital, a digital marketing and advertising agency based here in Nairobi. And we work with small and medium enterprises to help them acquire and retain their customers profitably, doing a whole range of marketing solutions for them, social media, film and the likes, but really to help them be able to communicate and capture their customers. A little background is it's a youth-owned business. It started from a campus hostel just as a side hustle, and when we actually just finished campus, we just thought, hey, we know the economy sometimes is hard with employment and all that, and since we already have some skills, how about we just start and see how it goes? And it all started with just that. With whatever little money we had in our pockets, we bootstrapped and said, let's start doing this. Our inspiration to start Acha Digital was just the passion of seeing how a little business can be uplifted by the things you do. You help a business design a flyer, it can get a few customers. So the background was helping, even when we were in campus, used to help small businesses around the campus that we were in, do some design for them, and just by that, you'd see that they get a bit more customers, they get some traction, they're happy, they come back to you, do more flyers, things like event posters. So it was the impact that you could feel and the happiness you'd see from somebody else, lighting up from saying that you've done something for them, and this something has led them to continue being in business, and they're happy to pay for that. And hence, it felt like something good to continue, creating value and getting paid for your value as well, meaning that you're doing something impactful and something you enjoy. Yeah. I'd like to say that, I don't know if it was a clear vision or it was just the thing that made us start the business with that same passion. So our priorities, the change has never been there as much. We've continued just to help other businesses in the same small and medium size. I think just being more prioritized to seeing how can that continue, how can you build that to allow that your team can be bigger and better so that it can serve more and more customers, because the vision now is more clear. It's less of Alex needs to do it or another person in the team. It's now a team effort that we can push, and in the end the result can be seen by whoever wants to engage our services and not limit only a small clique of people to do so. So that in terms of the vision, that's the only thing that's changed, is that we are more clearer to say that anybody who's an SME and wants to figure out a way, they can talk to us through our different products or programs, and we're able to help them. Location is very important in many different businesses, including even a service business who, us, for example, we don't need to be at the front of the mall so that people can see and know us, but some businesses do. So when we decided to start our location, it just started with what can we afford at the time, and that used to be our homes. Like we used to just work and bring our work together, maybe in a we meet somewhere in town and just discuss maybe the projects we've gotten and show each other, because that was within our budget. We got our first office. It was somewhere convenient, maybe to our team, where they can come and bring their ideas together, where we could afford, and as well where we could see that our customers are close by. So that was a location. And then we've just evolved as well. Even if we moved to our second location, it became because of that. Somewhere where people can find it easy to come to us, because our job is to eliminate the hardship for the customer. I'd say any business has challenges. No matter how funded, no matter how big you want to start or how small you want to start, there will be challenges, and sometimes I think the biggest one we faced is seeing that we were youth-led business, that we had no past experience in setting up business. We know how to do the marketing, etc., but do we know how to ourselves manage a business, manage operations, human resources? So it was a bit on the information gap, and also funding as well. I would say not that we needed a lot of funds to start, but bootstrapping meant that maybe a vision that you had would take a bit longer, but you'd work hard towards it. So for us, I feel like as you start a business, maybe sometimes you look for some advice or a mentor who can tell you, if you want to grow your business, take 10% and save, or do something like that. So we took a bit of longer time to learn that, but as we came to learn it, some of the challenges are reducing, but even now, challenges still come, COVID, elections, but I think it's to remain very steadfast and be very strong to continue in entrepreneurship. Keep your passion in the front of your mind. I think funding or finance will always be an operational concern for any business. You always need to know where will you get your next money so that you can sustain your operation, so that you can also be profitable. And for us, what we started with, the challenge was to keep very lean. As a young team, as young guys, you can afford to maybe skip a meal. There's nobody depending on you to say that, please send us, I don't have a family maybe or something like that depended on you. So you could keep your finances really lean. If you have the opportunity when starting, you can do that and say that I'll try and keep it as affordable as possible. So we tried to do that for the longest time, and we still do. So managing your finances, learning a bit about financial self-control, financial management, and then I guess putting in systems, the financial systems, like payment apps or your accounting applications, or even the accountant that you might end up needing. So we've managed it that way, and then now we continue to fund our business through operations, being able to work for clients, then taking that work and paying the dues that are there, so employees, office rent, and so on. But you keep budgeting, seeing your payments are coming in, then continue. Don't rush into now taking a whole team of 20 and then saying, let's wait for work. You have to grow at pace. And if you do need a big team in the beginning, then you might need to find some financing to be able to sort you out. But good thing that the world is really opening up. There's all these programs. Banks are listening, funders are available. So I guess it's figuring out what do you want to do, then share your passion widely with all the people you want to see, maybe be part of your clients or be part of people who trust in you. Being in a service business, I think any business as well, just like finance, I think people are just as a strong component. You need people so that you can grow. You need to work collaboratively with people, clients, consultants, and the better you work with them, the better you can see our growth. So when we started, we knew that our people will be a very important part of our business. So no matter what kind of position we were hiring for, even a very entry-level position, we'd want at least to hear the perspective of the people we are sorting from and seek professional advice. If it's somebody who does graphic design, what do they need to have, what capacity, and then start and trust each other in a partnership and say, this is where we are, we're a startup and we're trying to do this in a very transparent kind of way. And now Source for Talent, there's a lot of youth these days, and they're ready and they're trainable. They're happy to be shown the way. So sometimes, even if your budget doesn't allow, what it can allow you is to be able to grow together. So we've done a lot of training and started with a very young team. So we are growing together and showing the vision so that we can work together towards it. And then, just keep the respect. I think just like humans, you treat them well, you get to collaborate well. Our model of serving SMEs, not a lot of agencies can afford to help a small growing business because maybe they need larger budgets. So I think the uniqueness is for us, we've always been razor focused on whatever business that comes on board, what's the fastest way we can get them to profitability, or at least getting their return from marketing and advertising so that they can meet their goals. So that's usually our key concern. Then at any stage of a growing or small business, we listen and say, I think we have a training program for you. This one is actually free. You know, we have this one, you can pay this much. So we listen to the needs and tailor the solution to the customer. And I feel that's very unique because there's no SME that's the same. I might own a restaurant, both of us own a restaurant, but this one is here, another one is here. But they all are trying to do business. Yeah. So our biggest marketing strategy is ignoring the competitors and not trying to figure out what are they doing, but yet focusing on our own product. If I was a restaurant, I would, for example, say me, if I make biryani, I'm just focusing on having the best biryani in town. If there's another neighbor who's also making biryani, good for him. Everybody needs to eat. So if you want to eat there, that biryani, and you can find my biryani as well, really good. So for us, it's been, let's focus on having good products for the customers that they leave saying, wow, these guys have really helped us, so that we can keep them over a long time and we can continue supporting them. So our biggest marketing strategy has been along supporting customers really well. And then now reaching out, I think, just as well, seeing the solution that you can provide to a business. So we also do our own same social media marketing, digital marketing, websites. We've done the foundations of what needs to be done in our industry. And yeah, we also get customers from that. So within our constraints, we try and do the same. We define success by every happy customer or happy engagement that leads to, I came to you guys, I had this problem. The problem was humongous. We've solved 90% or 50% of it. I'm really happy because my business is moving along and I want to continue being helped. So success for us means continuing to serve customers who have more and more needs. And then also our team growth, happiness to see that our team can grow from a designer to an art director, from as well, obviously the bottom line, if you're able to at least pay everybody and earn your back, you can keep your business afloat and look at it at scale. But for us, the ultimate would be to scale our business to the heights of Africa or the world, to be able to say Archer can support the same SME in South Africa, the same SME in East Africa, and we're able to do that right now remotely. But as we grow, we're hoping, what if we had an Archer in South Africa, another one in Nigeria, and if that serves the customers we'll have then, we'll be very happy. What I enjoyed most about starting the company is I think I'm a person who enjoys a bit of a challenge. So that seeing that what I learned and what's on the ground is something, you learned this, but you have to apply it this way to the real world to be able to earn your keep. So it means that you're always problem solving, you're always being innovative, you're always listening to somebody's passion and need, and you're like, wow, your business, I really love it, I really want to help you like this. And it's something I've really enjoyed, the joy of working with, up to date we've worked with 114 SMEs, just touching their business, and this guy is like, wow, that's really fantastic, A, B, C, D. And even when we go wrong, seeing that we can still be human and discuss this and say, oh, client, we're sorry, but we can fix it and rectify it. I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed growing an amazing team, growing and working with very friendly, nice people I enjoy to see, to have meetings with and to collaborate on different projects. So for me, that's been the biggest joy so far. I guess my greatest motivation is to see Africa come alive a bit, the youth also find opportunities. I can't change maybe the whole world, but I can change, a small circle of, for example, now the small circle of 114 businesses worked with and our team that we have. I mean, that's a small change in the right direction towards, what I feel is a good ideal. But I keep being inspired by so many African young business owners, inspired by just people solving real world problems today. So even seeing those products that we market that are solving problems for others, you're like, wow, this guy has an app that does this and it's helping somebody else. So that's also very, my inspiration. I've been very much inspired by a lot of African leaders and young people actually doing great things. I really like Vusi, who's at Tembekwaya of South Africa, who's a very inspirational speaker, advises young people in business. Vusi Tembekwayo. Yeah, Vusi Tembekwayo, good writer, good inspirational leader. At the Sandbox as well, where we are, I think I found good leadership in a lot of the SMEs we work with. But very particularly, I think Joram Winamo has inspired me in the business world and mentored me a bit. And globally, if we think about it, marketing-wise, I've been inspired by the likes of Simon Sinek, who's quite a thought leader in differentiating and doing things with the real purpose of why, and impacting real things. Just don't do marketing to do marketing. Enjoy what you do and really look at the results for others. So those have been really inspirational, I guess, people for me. My advice, if you really want to be an entrepreneur or you're just looking into the space, even if you're in 9 to 5, it doesn't limit you from being an entrepreneur. You can, within your organization, for example, Archer is an SME as well. I've found people in our team who've looked at how can we grow it, and we've grown it together. That's called entrepreneurship, because only the growth of where you are, if you're in somewhere and you don't want it to grow, you can't grow. So for me, if you want to go into entrepreneurship, I would believe that it's important to really have the passion for whatever you want to do. Don't open a restaurant if you don't like cooking or if you don't like the smell of food. So I believe is find something you really like, find to solve a real problem that's in the market as well. Don't just create an ideal product. Create something that you would ask 5 of your friends, would you pay for this? And they'll say, wow, Alex, you have a really good idea. I would. And now take it and try and mold it and I think entrepreneurship has a level of patience that you need. Don't be thinking that you open today and there will be 50 customers at your door. Open and plan and think and come back, and also be very rigid. Not rigid, be very ready to grow into the position. With entrepreneurship comes the need to know so many things, need to connect with so many people, need to learn so many new skills. I think it's very important for you to be able to put your mind into, this is where I want to go. And even in a 9 to 5, don't be settled and content. I know the value these days that any business or anybody in business feels is that if my team just as well can think, how do we go the next step? That's the only way we can go, because I might not have all the solutions. Even me, I just woke up and started to solve something. Maybe I'm not seeing the problem you're seeing. So if we can work together and we can build it, let's do it. Let's not be content with just being at a 9 to 5 and doing, I wake up and I go and I come back at home and I've been told to do this and I'm done. Because our work is really wide range with a lot with SMEs, I'd say we work on everything and anything. I think for us, projects involve, film creation, involve digital marketing things, websites, SEO, and what I'm really proud of is that the capacity of what we are doing is being seen, is actually the same things that you will see people globally are doing. So we're doing work, for example, in Egypt, we're doing work in Nigeria, straight from here in Kenya, and we're getting those clients the happiness, the results that they want. So for me, it feels like whatever project we're taking on, we're just looking at how do we get it to the next step? And if it's getting to the next step, we continue and again. So it could be so many things, but maybe particularly as well, I host a training workshop for SMEs, and I really enjoy, I think, that mentorship and guidance with small businesses. And I guess why I'm very happy to be on this show today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and have a good one. Good luck, entrepreneurs.
Biashara Tuesday, Economy Mtaani. That's what you just saw there, a piece from us on some of those businesses you guys are doing on the ground. And that was Archer Digital, who are a team of designers, photographers, filmmakers, developers, helping most of businesses connect to their audiences through design. I'm looking here at their website. They're offering design, creative They have a creative department which gives ideas on how to inspire customers. Digital analytics, which are really important to measure your objectives as a business. You need to look at the math, not the magic. Development, on how they can help you get yourself, website, digital presence, and also brand strategy, which is also something else I'm going to be discussing here with Evans Kinoti, who's joining me as a founder and also the head there at Kins. Atakuwa akituambia exactly what they do in matters of branding. However, continue interacting with us on all the social platforms. We will be getting all your feedback here. So far, I can mention maybe a few before we continue with business. Joseph Asura Oyugi, nice presentation. Thank you very much, Joseph. Tell us where you're tuning in from too. Spence Freddy, lead show. Asante Spence. Do tell us where you're tuning in from. Gikiri Ed, great show as always. Welcome again, Gikiri Ed, to the show. Nasema shout out to Sir Richard. Asante sana for tuning in. We just had a conversation with Binsari Beauty, who are offering services in the world of beauty for both men and women. You can check them out. So how does such a business also get to their customers is what Archers is doing. You get to them, they inspire customers, help you do your brand analytics, but also brand strategy. How do you brand? How do you create a brand that is appealing, that can be able to propel you into the market? That's the conversation we're getting into right about now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Richard.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How's business in this election period? We are pushing.
We are pushing, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So you are, maybe we begin with introduction of your business before we get into how you started it.
Okay.
How did you go into branding and what informs the name of your business?
So my name is Evans Kinoti. I'm the founder and the lead designer at Kin Solutions. Kin Solutions was founded in 2020, during Corona period. I used to work as a writer, but since I still had a passion in IT. So when Corona came and all the jobs which I was doing were cut off, I chose to start working on a different thing. And that's when Kin Solutions started. My target was mainly the small businesses. I discovered there's a gap when it comes to small businesses and small organizations and NGOs also. They never saw they never saw the importance of branding. They thought as long as we have a company, as long as we are active, we are okay. They never saw the need to have a logo, website, social media pages. They felt that as long as they are having some activities on the ground, they're okay. And in the current era we are, the technological era, we cannot underrate branding.
Right.
Because everybody wants to identify something with something. Like for a business, we have to have a logo, website, social media pages, running active social media pages, not only social media pages. So that's why when we started approaching some organizations, and we started working with them.
All right.
Yeah.
So what will you say is, because there's branding, there's advertising, there's marketing, there's sales. How's branding different from all these other terms?
Yesterday was little conversation between branding and marketing. They are almost the similar thing actually, but you can't start marketing without branding. You have to have something you have to have something. You have to brand something to take ownership of it.
Okay.
Ni kitu yako yenyewe before starting to sell. When you see Daily Nation, they are branded, that's the other brand. When you go and you want to sell, kama ijaandikwa jina hapo ungenunua, because there's a brand, yeah.
Right.
And so I think first of all, you have to brand your product, then you start marketing the product.
All right.
Yeah.
So that is how branding is different.
Yeah, that's so different. Yeah.
Before trying to get
marketing is
marketing
is trying to tell people buy my product, and branding is making something so good, so approachable and relatable to the customers in a way they feel they're associated with the product. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the elements of branding then which are really key for a business? I know you've mentioned a logo, mentioned social media pages, active social media accounts, a website, other aspects of branding that are really key for a business.
First, I think for a business you have to have a name. That's the basic. That's the basic thing. You have to have a name before you start selling anything. So after having a name, you should look for a name which is presentable to people. I was also
going to ask, branding beginning and then.
Yeah, I think it's beginning with the name, and I think you should also check. As you take the name, you should also check on the social media platforms and the websites, because you may take a name and somebody else has the same name.
Oh yeah.
So you'll have to look for, maybe if you want to take KUTV, now you have to KUTV Kenya. So now that's a long name. So you have to look for something which is just yours.
Right.
When somebody just looks for KUTV, it's only KUTV, not
KUTV
254, 256. Yeah.
Right.
So you have to brand to make yourself, as you look for the name, make sure it's for you only. It identifies you only.
Right. Okay.
So the second, after the name, I think the second thing you have to do is you have to have logos. The logo will define what the product is. Some people have just logos, but I think a logo should tell a story. Actually, it should tell a story of. By just looking at the logo, I can tell what does this company do. So they should be able to tell a story. The colors should be associated with your company, because from the logo now you have to, from the logo and the colors, that's where you go to the next step now. Yeah.
Right. I was having a look. I was looking at your logo here. KS, Kin Solutions, of course, and those circles.
Yeah.
Do those also mean something?
The circles are technological. If you have seen like most of the technology,
connecting.
then the dots connecting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's yes, of course. As you said, it has to also tell a story.
Tell a story. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after you've gotten your logo, the colors, you've gotten your name correct. What else should now be an SME or a small business be doing next?
The next thing I think we should have are social media accounts, active social media accounts. It depends on what you are doing as a company. If you have an e-commerce platform, you should create an e-commerce social media page. I think Facebook, Instagram are offering those services now, where you can sell your product online, and even WhatsApp actually.
Yeah.
So you should be active on all social media platforms. You should never. I know that maybe you have 2 or 3 which are favorites, but still make sure you are available on all the social media platforms to improve your ranking on Google actually. Yeah.
Which also I think brings in that
SEO.
point of SEO.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the pages should be active, and if you are financially capable, maybe you can also try using social media ads to sell your product or your services. Because at a budget of maybe 700 shillings per week, you can boost an ad and reach more people as compared to just posting a normal
post.
Yeah.
All right. What would you say then is the importance of having you? You mentioned once you're active on social media, you also get ranked by Google, highly by Google. What is the importance of that?
I think when you go to search for something. Like now, when you search for driving school in Kenya, I don't think you have the time to go to page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5. You only have one. You only go the first page and you're done, right?
Yeah.
So everybody wants to be on that first page.
Okay. I don't think I've ever actually gone to any other page.
Yeah.
On Google.
People don't. Hakuna mtu uko na time ya kwenda 1, 2, 3, 4.
And there are actually other pages.
There are almost 10 pages actually after that. But everybody wants to be on that first page, and that's where SEO comes in. You need to rank high on Google to make yourself marketable, to be what do you say, to get more customers. Yeah.
Right. Visibility.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So once you've gotten that visibility, which we've mentioned there, you need to be active on social platforms, which will lead you to get ranked. You need to have a website, right, which has good SEO.
Yeah.
And all of that involves a budget.
Yeah.
So there's a small business out there which thinks, oh, branding is such an expensive thing.
Yeah.
Can they brand on a budget?
Yeah, they can brand on a budget. Like for logos, there are sites which you can design your own logo at free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Canva, you can design your own logo for free, and they're not charging anything.
And they have templates.
The logo may not be the best one, but at least you have a logo. You have something to identify yourself with. Yeah, and the same thing goes to websites. But with the increase of the number of designers and developers have really increased. So you can even get some people are charging as low as 10,000 shillings to make a website, and even for logos you can go. Some even are charging 1,000 and 2,000 shillings. So maybe you can look for someone who. Even if you're starting a business, you have to have some budget. You can't say you have nothing at all and you want to start a business. So maybe you can look for the developers who will charge the amount within your budget. Yeah.
All right. There's in digital marketing, social media campaigns, which is also something that you do, and we'll be having a look at some of the activities you offer or services you offer at Kin Solutions. Digital marketing. How do the campaigns work? What is a social media campaign that a business has to do, and how can they strengthen maybe their digital market presence?
As I said before, I think it all depends on what you're selling. First of all, that's the first thing.
What are you selling?
What are you selling? Who are your customers? That's the first thing you have to know. These are my customers. What the age gap? Because maybe you're selling a car at maybe 2 million. Don't expect somebody between 18 and 22 to buy your car. So you should have something. You should plan your ad in such a way you are targeting some specific people. So, like social media, Facebook ads, they have a specific way where you can define the info in demographics, the age bracket, the locations where you want the
advert to
be seen by specific people. So, whereby if you do the ad, it will be targeting some specific people, not everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it can be maybe engagement. There are some posts whereby people just want engagement. Whereby once I post a post, I don't expect a lot from the post. What I want is promote my product. Maybe as many people can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter whether they comment,
whether they convert or not. As long as many people as possible are seeing the product, I'm okay with that. There are other people who they want engagement with the customer. They want the customer to buy. So those are different ads, set up ads. Yeah.
Those are those different needs. Does it work if people just see the product actually without engaging?
I have a number of friends, and I also run a Facebook page for a client on real estate, and it really works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if they see they can convert later, even if they don't engage at the moment.
Some even text you and where is your offices? Where can we meet? It works.
Right.
The social media ads works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get to maybe personal brands before we switch back to business. Do you also offer personal branding, and how different is personal branding from branding a business?
Yeah, we do offer personal branding. When you talk about personal branding, maybe you're talking about a musician, somebody who want to...
A TV personality.
Someone, a public figure. I think that's what we're talking about.
Yes, a public figure.
So I think it's totally different from branding for when you are talking about branding for organization. Because this is when you're dealing with one person, and for personal branding, you have specific targets, and the goal is not that big as compared to business. Yeah.
Okay. Do I need a logo as a person?
They don't think so. You don't need a logo. But some people prefer cartoons.
Okay. I've seen that a lot on social media as well.
Most of them prefer cartoons to make things to be a bit fun. Nobody wants to go to a page which is that serious.
Definitely. Okay, that makes sense. I always wonder why the preference for cartoons, even for most of the public figures I know their profiles have cartoons representing them. So now, if I am coming to get branding, of course from Kins Solutions, what should I be prepared for? Will you give me the whole guideline, or should I come already prepared with something for you to execute? Is it from scratch to finish process, or do you need?
We do both, but I think as the client, every client has something in mind. Like if I want a website, I want something close to this or similar to this. So we always, before we start working with you, we ask you, do you have some suggestions? So that if you have some suggestions, we can incorporate those ideas in there.
Okay. A company profile is also one of those things that are really important. What are the reasons for someone who has a small business doing maybe a delivery business online on Instagram? They don't have a company profile. Sometimes I ask for company profiles from people, they have no idea what a company profile is. Maybe what a company profile actually is, and why a small business or an organization needs to have one.
I have a number of friends. Most of them have companies, but they don't have anything. They're waiting for that day when they hear there's a tender or something like that. They go to apply. So the day they go to apply, they're telling you, give me a company profile. So a company profile is very important because it defines what the organizations, the mission, the vision, the core values. I believe when you're working inside here, there are the values you have to follow. Each and every organization should have values, and their mission and their services. And also, it could also include the services you've offered. It's kind of a CV. It's kind of a CV of the business.
Okay.
So whereby you can highlight each and everything you've done, your strength and the values and the service you can offer.
Okay. Does it help with the brand? Does it boost the brand? Also, maybe does the profile help me get more customers in one way or another?
It makes me look professional.
Okay.
It's like when if there is a job somewhere and you ask to send a profile, somebody sends one with which is in Word document, and you send you one which is professional. They consider you more because they feel this person has invested in his business, he knows what he's doing, as compared to this other one.
Okay. Yeah. Is branding a lifetime process? Does a business brand for a lifetime or once?
I think it's not a one day thing. Because like if you talk about social media is not one day thing. You have to tomorrow. It's each and every day thing. I think brand is all about consistency. Are you going to brand today and you stop? Or are you going to continue?
All right. Let's get to Kins Solutions now. You began Kins Solution in the COVID era. Was that a decision that was informed by COVID?
Yeah. I used to work mainly with clients I used to do article writing, and that's why I learned a lot about SEO.
SEO writing, yes.
And most of my clients during that COVID period were from UK, India, and some were from Canada. And they were very affected with COVID-19. Some were sent home, and some others did not even have the capacity to offer me any job. So since I was an IT graduate, and I had some skills on website development and maybe graphic design, I woke up and maybe I said, let me focus on the small businesses first of all.
Okay.
Because if I start going to the big businesses, they may ask you, who are you, where are you from, what have you done? But I discovered that most of the small businesses never had websites, logos, or anything. So I started approaching them. I used to approach them with small let me say petty cash
proposals.
Yeah, because I used to tell them, give me
for the eyes.
Yeah,
the match,
but as long as I was trying to build a portfolio.
I see. Okay.
Because without a portfolio, you cannot get any work. So I used to look for small businesses, real estate companies, small NGOs, and we used to work with them. And with time, I got so many actually. Yeah.
Okay. So that's how you began. It's important that small businesses also, of course, get this kind of opportunities, which we haven't witnessed before. Is this an issue you think maybe of negligence or maybe ignorance, not knowing where exactly to get some of the services like the ones you offer right now?
I think I can say it's ignorance. And some people still believe in traditional methods of marketing. They believe I can stay at home, and since you're my friend, you know what I do. You recommend me to someone. They don't feel the need to look for no clients. So I think they are satisfied with what they have.
Okay.
They don't want to. Technology is something new, especially for the old people. It's something especially for the old. They don't see the need to have a social media page. They don't see the need to have a website. They feel like it's just a waste of time. We can do the old school way and still get money.
Go to Kinuthia's Hardware and say you have been selling this for 20 years.
20 years. Why do I need a website? Why do I need a
Facebook page? All right. So what are some of the other services then? Maybe we can have a breakdown of the services that you offer at Kin Solutions.
So Kin Solutions, we offer, the main services we offer is website development, graphic design, social media management, digital marketing, and content writing. We offer since we discovered that some of the people they have the business, but they don't know how to write those things, like how to write the profile. So we discovered maybe we can help them to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Some want to have company profiles, website, but they don't have the content.
All right.
So we help them
to write the content.
The content for them. Yeah.
Do you have creatives under you?
Yeah, we are a team of 4. 3. Most of them are freelancers. And 1 is permanent, and then me.
Right.
So if they are content writing jobs, I just send them to the jobs to read them.
Okay. All right. And maybe into the future, what are you looking like? What are you hoping that Kin Solutions will be looking like? Will you move away from small businesses and maybe
I don't think I will move.
Corporates?
I don't think I will move out from small businesses because the package is a bit different from the big businesses. What we offer for the small businesses and what we offer, already we have some big businesses, but whatever we offer for the small businesses and the big businesses,
that's two different
things.
Okay.
Yeah, because the one is a startup and the other one
is already established.
So by 2019, if somebody told me I would be here, I could not believe it. Yeah. Right. So I believe Kin Solution is going to the next step. We hope to capture more international clients, and already we have 1 or 2 from Tanzania. So we are hoping we can get more and more international clients and employ more youths, because in Kenya, the youths are the most affected with unemployment.
All right. So my friend who's out there has a small business or has been running this business for some time and would like to approach Kin Solutions to get branding. What amount should they have in hand for the services? Let's say they do not have anything so far. They're just selling maybe shoes from Instagram, and they'd like to have a website, maybe at least a website, at least a social media, at least a good SEO, at the very bare minimum a logo also. Services za kwanza startup. Ajipange na pesa ngapi ile kidogo kabisa.
Ukisema mbele ya kamera, mwingine ana advantage. Unasemanga inbox me.
DM for prices.
DM for prices, yeah. DM for prices.
Okay.
Because I think we have different clients.
Maybe mention one service and the price of one service, maybe.
For a basic website, we charge 10,000 shillings. That's a basic website for a startup.
10,000.
Itaki mambo mingi. Just 10,000 shillings, yeah.
Okay. So maybe ukitaka website, you can start that.
Yeah, you can start from there.
Come with your own domain, Nama?
Come with your own domain, yeah.
Why do you prefer that?
I like people coming with their own domain because I've met some clients who disagreed with their developers, and the developer went there with their domain.
Alizima site.
Akazima site na akapotea. So I always insist on the clients. If you want to buy a domain, buy your own domain. Let's just have your name because you're starting branding. Because in future we need that domain. So because uende mtu achukue domain yako ninayo 3 years from now, usha invest kwa domain and he has gone with the domain.
Yeah.
Anakuambia nipotee 50k ama 100k ndio nikupatie
tena. That's a bit tricky.
Yeah, so I think you should take ownership of your own domain.
Right.
Yeah.
Due to the opaque nature of some developers.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe where can people get you? Do you have a physical location or online where they can contact to get some of these services?
Yeah, we are located at K-Mall. K-Mall is near Komarok. And we have social media pages. On Facebook, it's Kin Solutions, KINS Solutions. Instagram, the same Kin Solutions. We don't have YouTube. And website www.kinsolutions.co.ke.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure that you're checking out Kin Solutions. If you are an organization out there, you're a small business, you're a youth man, startup, an established organization, reach out to them for all these services: graphic design, website development, social media campaigns, branding, personal branding as well. You can make sure that you are checking those social media platforms which have been mentioned. I'd like just to give you one last chance to a call out to the people I'm telling to get themselves branded on why they actually really need to brand themselves as a business for the benefit of their revenue and maybe longevity of their business.
Okay, these are we are in 2022 and these have really changed. And the technology is taking over, and I believe if you insist on traditional methods, your business is meant to fail. Somebody said, if your business is not online, in the next 2 years or 3 years, it will be failed. So you need branding for you to get to go to the next step of life.
Right. You need branding to get to the next step. And as he has said, if your business is not online in the next 2 years, I don't think it's going to exist anymore.
Yeah.
I think I can actually, without a doubt, confirm that is how things are happening in this technological age. You can do e-commerce, social media, something that you can create from a phone, manage from a phone. So ensure you do that and tell us how that works out. But reach out to Kin Solution for more of the solutions to some of the business needs that you might have pale mtaani. At KUTV Kenya, at Richard_Kenya, hashtag Biashara Tuesday. We will be right back.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause. Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to use available pedestrian ways have been flagged by NTSA as the fatal 6 behaviors likely to lead to a fatal crash and serious injuries. As part of the Usalama Barabarani campaign, we request all road users to prevent these fatal 6 behaviors for their own safety and that of others. When driving, ensure your speed is within the stipulated limits. The road ahead is clear before overtaking. Stick to your lane. Keep left unless carefully overtaking. You're well rested if driving on long distances, and you never drink and drive. Usalama Barabarani starts with you. Fika Salama. This message is brought to you by the National Transport and Safety Authority and the European Union.
Yani unavyoona basi niko kipwani pwani tu.
Unapopika inatakana uko half cooked.
Tui ni nazi imekunwa, inawekwa kwa hii samaki juu. Wewe mwenyewe ukiangalia samaki, mtazamaji, utaona vile inapendeza.
Niko Kilifi, niko katika kaunti ya Kilifi, Magavazi ya Gede.
Samaki mwenyewe ndio huyo kidogo. Samaki iko dogo, iko na maajabu kwa sababu ni tumbo yake iko juu ya kichwa.
Karibu sana kwenye mitindo ya kipwani hapa KUTV, ukiwa nami nahodha mwendesha chombo, si mwingine bali ni bibie huwa linalonukia na kuvutia, Waridi Samu.
Stream live mitindo ya kipwani on our KUTV Facebook page every Saturday 4 p.m.
Kwanza tuende lunch. Chapo.
Rasha piga shada kuna giza. Sikinai tujinai siweke story. Kata maji pia shada liko nasio nikosa msuko si stress. Kama rende kisha basi nipe. Najua ni
Big up, brother, ukiwa Adriva, big up, sis, big up, shows, mama, big up, oya, wase wote, okay, my principal, big up.
Repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Lawmoja.
All right, Biashara Tuesday. We're still on air. I am upstanding, but of course, I'm giving a standing ovation to the results I'm seeing here from NCBA in their half-year report. Pre-tax profit at 11.2 billion in the half-year results so far. And this post-tax comes to 7.8 billion, 67% up 67% up on year. And some of the things that they've been doing, of course, in trying to ensure that they're increasing their portfolio and also their revenue is the branches. They have various branches all over the country, and they've been on an aggressive expansion plan to create job opportunities and also bring their services closer to the people. I'm looking here at their report and the future outlook. It seems that they will be continuing to make much more of profit, especially if you're someone who's enjoying Fuliza right about now, you're enjoying some of those overdraft facilities. You need to know that those are all from NCBA and their efforts in trying to provide financial support to individuals and also to businesses. So they have M-Shwari in their digital banking partnerships, M-Shwari, Fuliza, M-Power, MoCash, and MomoCash. The group has now registered, as I have just said, 7.8 billion in terms of profit after tax in the half year of 2021. So in the half year of 2022, in 2021, it was at 4.7 billion Kenyan shillings. So that's a double plus. So 67%, as I said, of in terms of the growth in profit. So that is what NCBA, which is also something exciting for me who's into technology. NCBA Bank are also the first bank that financed the electric vehicles as part of their strategies in ensuring that we're going green as a country. 2 billion Kenyan shillings invested in asset finance towards electrification of vehicles. That's the report I'm receiving here this morning. NCBA Group PLC reporting a pre-tax profit of 11.2 billion, and in half-year results, that post-tax is 7.8 billion. Here, I was also having a look at some of the numbers of Fuliza, which is also an overdraft facility that is partner with NCBA. 1.6 billion daily is what the first half of the year people have been borrowing from Fuliza. 1.6 billion daily in the first half of 2022. The overdraft service has been attracting a lot of interest, and this is even as the wealth gap keeps growing, and also we are experiencing a high cost of living in the country. So that's the situation in terms of overdraft facilities and banks breaking bank. So that's what's happening with NCBA. Also, I'd actually mentioned earlier, it's a good time for you to invest in Safaricom because they are expanding and they're now currently live in Ethiopia, and farms have been buying stocks even as traders are selling off and heading out to foreign markets. Shareholders and foreigners are now heading out to foreign markets, and this most profitable, actually the country's most profitable farm, which is Safaricom, still is experiencing a short dip. So it is still high time for you to make sure that una get a few shares there. Na pia wakati watarudi back to making profit or more profit than they are right now, you should be able to get that. So I have information that citizens of East African countries now hold 1.5 billion units of the stake of Safaricom, and that's just 3% of the whole company. So more efforts as foreign investors are going out, also local investment should be going in. That and much more business is what we've had here on an exciting morning on KUTV Rise Today, Biashara Tuesday, where we get to discuss business, the economy, politics, the youth, and technology as well. You guys have been amazing. I see here online there's feedback which has come in on KUTV's live stream at Facebook and also on social media, Twitter. So maybe I go through a few of them. Munene Kinywa amesema good presentation. That was to Evans Kinoti, who we just had here from Kins Solutions, the founder and also lead creative at Kins Solution, offering branding solutions to businesses, small businesses especially, but also personal branding and any other organization that might need web development, social media campaigns, and anything that is regards to branding your company. So asante sana Munene Kinyo for tuning in to the show. I also see Momza Jolie. Great presentation, Evans Kinoti. Kudos. Asante sana Momza. Also do tune in next week. We have more people like Evans to come through to the show. I see Ojwang Mariam pia ameamka. Just watching and also catching up to the show. Asante sana Ojwang Mariam. Mark Mutai, also see you there on Twitter. Jesse Kimotho Asante sana for tuning in. And also Ellie Sketch, I think I just mentioned that. I'd have loved to know where you're tuning in from. Cynthia Nduta from Sugoi, asante for watching. Nyangi Waweru from Kasarani on Twitter pale akisema enjoying the show all the way from Seasons. So Seasons in Kasarani, asante sana. Omondi Jakojwang, our international viewer all the way from Turkey, interacting with us on Twitter. Asante sana for that feedback. Susan Ngoiri Migwi reminds me of the great times we had on this show. Good memories of times with you. Asante sana, Susan, and also you're welcome back to this show anytime that you might want to tune in. That's the feedback that I can be able to read so far, but continue to send it at Richard_Okenye. I'll see it throughout the week and also be able to respond even to some of those personal messages that you guys have been sending. Biashara Tuesday has run from 7 in the morning. We had a newspaper review section. Exciting here with Derek, who's an organizer of Azimion Lawmoja. Very confident that the petition which is there at the Supreme Court, and now we know that as from 11 a.m. in about an hour's time, the Supreme Court is going to be a center stage, a theater for political and legal showdown like no other, facing a deeply fractured IEBC led by Chairman Wafula Chebukati. The buck stops with him, and did they really conduct a free and fair election? That's what is going to happen in the next few weeks. Ensure you're tuning in to KUTV. Those updates will be coming to you in the rest of the broadcasting and also in the other shows that do come up later on. We also did a discussion with the founder of Binsari Beauty and also an award-winning beautician herself, giving you the services, of course, that they're offering at Binsari Beauty for both men and women in terms of grooming. So groove your way there and get yourself groomed if you want to have an exciting and styled up week. So tune in also to WCW tomorrow with Nina Gikunda on KUTV Rise Today. Thursday, Ojwang Mariam will be here on Throwback Thursday. I'm sure a lot will have developed at the Supreme Court. So Ojwang Mariam will be keeping you updated on the past and the present in matters of presidential petitions. And then on Friday, we break that a bit with a bit of business into entertainment. Tim Weekendi, Emperor Sheka will be here to carry on the show of entertainment before we come back on Art and Culture Monday, and then again to Biashara Tuesday. So that's the lineup. Ensure you are keeping your alarm clocks in check. Until next week, have a good time. As I always say, if you really want to have breakfast in bed, sleep in the kitchen.
Yeah, we born to win. Taking the risk, put everything. Never look at my melanin. Been kings from the go.